place between mind and matter, reality and unreality. A place where we're still staying 6 feet at minimum apart from each other. This is the Gamer Zone podcast. I'm one of your hosts. There's like a lot of them here tonight, and by that I mean there's four of them, like usual, but that's more than other podcasts.
That's
Gonna,
a lot if you have the caveman brain.
yeah, like
It's more brain cells than we have together.
yeah, like we've got like a collective three brain cells. There's like four people on the show. One of us is clearly not pulling their weight. Wonder who that could be.
You shut your whore mouth.
But oh no, welcome, folks, to the Gamer Zone. It's gonna be a fun show tonight, and I say that at every show, even the ones that aren't actually fun. But this one's gonna be fun because I'm not at work during a global pandemic like I was a few hours ago. So, yeah. Let's see. Anyone have anything they want to say as we kick off?
Not a whole lot. Just don't spend upwards of like $100 on a free-to-play game. Just
Yeah.
What about
PSA.
1,000? What about 1,000?
What you don't. Would you put your money towards something good, like feeding children, you monster? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go full lefty on you. I don't donate.
No, you're only a righty. It's okay.
Oh. I do want to say though that like we definitely should bring up that Fantasy Star story later on the show if you're comfortable with it, because
yeah, I don't care.
listen, we were doing like the setup
these
and test for
mean
the
nothing
show.
to me.
We were doing like setup and test stuff for the show earlier, and Scott was like going off for close to a full hour about these madmen, and it was
Bro, I
hilarious.
got drunk earlier because of them.
Jesus.
It's great.
Yeah,
And
Cash-
it's literally all their fault, not my fault. I don't have a problem.
cash cows are driving this man to drink.
Yeah. And I got sober just in time for the show. Because I'm a professional.
He
And I
is
can handle my alcohol.
unlike some people.
Do you know what the definition of professional is?
Not you, bitch.
It's someone who gets paid for doing something.
Are you assuming Andy doesn't pay me?
I know he pays me. He pays me in 1,700 pieces of stride gum.
That's pretty solid. Stride gum is good.
Pretty good, yeah.
That first shipment is on the way, Dylan. I promise.
Yeah, it'll get there
You
eventually.
promised. Man is
Yeah.
only as good as his word. I really hope that gum's on its way.
Yeah. Dylan, remember that time you just publicly posted your address in one of the Discord servers I run?
Yeah.
But did I really?
He
Yeah.
was like, I'm throwing a party, and I was like, oh, I'll be there. And he was like, okay, this is my address. And I was like, bro, I'm in Canada. I can't actually show up.
Oops. I forgot to mute that tab. Okay.
I really hope that is still not around.
I think I deleted it. But
There's that picture of a fucking dinosaur like stabbing another dinosaur, and the caption is like me when I fucking get you. And that's me to you, Dylan.
Oh man. So yeah.
Like, I have no issue with you coming, Scott, but
Oh.
They usually don't. Continue. Segue. Please.
So to kind of round off this intro, I can just calmly say, welcome Dylan to the first. Well, Dylan's been on the show before, but not as one of the main hosts. So welcome to the show tonight, Dylan. We are ruining
thank you
your
so
sleep
much.
schedule for a good reason.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
you know what? Sleep is for the weak.
See,
And right now it is Tuesday, so technically it's the week.
yeah, and we've got a viewer in the chat.
Can we flush this caller?
But we've got a viewer in the
Making
chat
dad
who
jokes.
happens to be from Germany. So like,
From Germany. Oh my god.
yeah, so like, sleep is in fact for the weak, and he is the strongest among us for now.
One of my friends is from Germany. I guess acquaintance. I don't know. She's like a friend of a friend. I don't talk to her very often. But
Hmm.
when I used to hang out with her, like hearing her and her family talk was the coolest shit. I think German sounds cool. Maybe that's just me, but
I don't know. It's a fun language. There's a lot of like European accents that I just find really fun. I don't know. Like, let's see. I can't go too in depth on the story, but I know a couple French people, fun voices.
oh yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, what's the term? I'm trying to remember it. But the more I think about it, the more I think it's something that I don't actually want to say on the show because it's really rude. But it's how like
Oh,
like the mainland French think of people in Quebec.
oh, that's how everyone thinks of people in Quebec.
Oh, okay. It makes me feel a lot.
That's not exclusive to the real French. That's like the whole world, basically.
Okay, that makes me feel a whole lot better.
Shout outs to Quebec. The Canadians suck. The Montreal Canadiens, or the Habs, whatever the fuck you people call them. Your hockey team sucks.
Oh boy. So Ming, you want to say anything on the intro? Or
I miss my wife.
don't we all? Listen, we all collectively miss our collective wife. Okay.
Miss our
Collective wife, yeah.
Yeah,
Colton.
Colton, come back.
Colton, please.
Please
Don't take
Colton.
the... I want to see the kids.
Colton, I let you on my podcast. Answer me.
Please respond.
I gave you the kids. Please respond.
Oh boy. Well, I think we can get into the show now.
Yeah, if you want.
I
If you
guess.
insist.
Yeah, I mean, if I insist, then I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, if you insist, but if you don't, then
Yeah, if you don't,
we can have a 2 hour. We can have a 2 hour intro. You know.
Yeah, we
I
can
mean,
just
that would
never
be
leave
fun.
the intro.
Yeah, we can never leave the intro. That is possible. I like that idea.
The gamer zone, but we can't leave the intro.
The intro is the gamer zone.
The intro to the gamer zone.
Maybe
intro.
the real gamer zone was the intros we made along the way.
I just want to say that I love and hate every single person here.
What the fuck?
The feeling's mutual. The feeling is very mutual.
Thank you, Dylan. All right, well
It's kind of fucked. Yeah, let's just gloss over that. Let's continue. It's fine. Let's not address that right now.
Oh, right. So let's go off, Kings. So tonight on the news, I'll give you all a quick overview. Our first point of the night will be about, like many other places, we've got some news related to the fact we're in a, a global pandemic at the moment.
Big chillin'.
But first point of the night will be about PlayStation Network download speeds slowing down, which, wow, I didn't think that was possible. As well as YouTube lowering their default quality for videos. There's a Witcher and Warhammer sale on Steam tonight, and it's going to be up for, let's see, I think the Witcher sale ends a little later on, but we'll talk about that later. GameStop is perpetually one of the worst companies in existence. We've got some fun news to talk about that tonight. You've probably seen it over the past few days, but I still want a chance to laugh at them.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not funny because people are losing their jobs, but they're also GameStop employees,
Yeah.
so it's funny. Why aren't
Yeah.
any of you laughing?
I'm-
Laugh,
I'm-
Tammy.
I'm nodding my head sadly, Scott. It works.
Thank you. Same thing.
Hey, maybe if they get their job back, they'll get $5.
Yeah, like I'm gonna return my job. Oh yeah, we can give you like 2 cents on that. All right, cool.
That one guy who uses GameStop as a bank is gonna be fucked up.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
I gotta find that again. No, we're gonna have to cover that on the show tonight. I can't believe this.
There's a guy who uses GameStop as a bank.
Oh, buddy, you're in for a fun time. And we're gonna
I'm
have
excited.
Scott's thoughts on the Resident Evil 3 remake demo.
Don't make that a whole bullet point. I don't have too much to say about it.
Yeah, but listen, Scott, we're just like we're in a fight against time, our own time. And in that fight against time, I can sit here and say sentences about how we have to pad time to pad time. You see how this works?
I love padding.
I
Okay.
love Pud Thai.
Okay. I don't know why I'm nodding my head as I say this.
Because
Moving
we
on.
can't see you, Andy. You narcissist.
We're also going to happen to cover tonight. This is going to be a fun little chunk of the show. The PlayStation Portable released in America 15 years ago today, so we're going to be going
My
over some.
wife.
Yeah, one of our other collective wives. It's a very weird relationship.
It's not weird. It's just open. Do you think those are weird? Are you being some sort of like Puritan right now, Andy?
Hey, come on, man. This isn't very woke of you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's not very woke of you.
Hmm. Either
I
way.
thought you'd
Andy, you
be
better woke
accepting of
up
this
real fast.
polyamorous relationship with the PSP.
You hear me, Andy? You better woke up real fast.
Oh, okay, Dylan, if you put it that way.
Yeah, Dylan.
But no, we're going to talk about some of our memories of that system and some of our favorite games on it. I love the PlayStation Portable, so that's going to be a nice little bit for me. But of course I love the PlayStation Portable, since it is, again, one of our collective wives.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone wants to think up?
Nothing comes to mind.
All right.
Have y'all ever asked the viewers how they're doing?
Okay, let's ask the viewers. How you
I'm
doing?
chill.
How's any of you doing? I know you.
We got this one guy, Shadow Knight 93, said hello, and then he says doing great.
All
Well, good for
right.
you.
Glad you're doing great.
Glad,
All right.
glad you're doing great, man.
Okay, so I just want to give you some good news. I did happen to find the GameStop as a bank thing.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Oh, yes.
we do have that to talk about later. I am very, very, very happy. Okay. So, first topic of the night though is going to be about PlayStation Network download speed slowing and the YouTube quality thing. So what's happening is that given that most people around the world right now in
The world.
in the world, this world, the planet Earth, odds are you're currently in quarantine or have a stay-at-home order in your province, state, city, or locale. And odds are you can't go and just, go out to the bar with the boys. So you're just going to have to stick inside, watch some Netflix, play some video games, watch some YouTube. Maybe not some like weird YouTube, maybe some fun weird YouTube, but not the weird YouTube. The cost of all this is that we're seeing higher and higher bandwidth usage than ever before. Because normally this type of usage for YouTube would like spike at the night as people got off of work, but now it's a consistent huge thing throughout the day. And A, the sites need to keep up, and B, internet service providers need to keep up. And I don't have it on hand because I didn't want to bring in all these like serious techie graphs, though. Somebody did show a graph of internet usage in Manchester, in England. And it showed that prior to the YouTube drop, things were pretty high, but there was a lot of room left. And then after the YouTube quality drop, the bandwidth usage was higher than prior to the drop, meaning that, like, I don't know, things are getting pretty crazy.
Lovely.
Yeah. But so in an attempt to keep up with all of this, and you're going to see, and just for the record, if any site you've liked has gone down over the past couple days, like I've had Twitter go down on me locally like a few times where I've had issues loading images. Xbox Live has been going down repeatedly over the past few days. PlayStation Network hasn't had an outage yet, but they are working hard to avoid that. And yeah, YouTube is trying to combat this by switching their default quality to 480p globally. This is something they were originally going to do just in Europe. Likewise, Netflix is lowering their bandwidth usage by, or their data usage. I think it's like a 25% reduction in quality to save data. And that was originally supposed to be in Europe, moving globally. And so and additionally, I think the PlayStation Network thing was also something that's supposed to be in Europe just for the moment where they're going to lower their download speeds, which again, I didn't think that was possible. PlayStation Network is like, honestly, one of the slowest things I've ever used in my life, but
Yeah.
it's kind of pathetic.
My favorite thing with PlayStation was when you download something and then it finishes and then it does the whole copying thing for about 3 times as long as the download actually took. It's like copying 1%, and then 10 minutes later, it's like copying 2%. It's like, why? Like, I just downloaded it, bro. Let me play the fucking video game. I'll take my money back.
Technology.
Technology sucks. I hate it. I'm gonna go live in the woods.
I completely
Lays on
agree.
ground, curls up in ball, screams future.
Future!
I'm interested to see how this all plays out.
I
Like
do want
I
to add something if you don't
okay,
mind.
okay.
Sorry. Um, the YouTube thing, it's dropped all its stuff down, trying to save bandwidth and stuff. But it just made me think. My phone provider that I use is Sprint,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually just gave every single person who uses Sprint Wi-Fi hotspot accessibilities. If you didn't already have it, they give you 20 free gigs for Wi-Fi hotspot, and if you do already have it, they give you 20 additional gigs of Wi-Fi hotspot.
That's
And
really
they
nice.
also just gave 2 months free international calling to any CDC level 3 country. So like that's like Italy, Spain, Europe, the UK, Ireland. Those are the level 3 places, which is really neat for them to do that. So
Oh
I
yeah.
just think it's kind of funny that YouTube's solution to all this was, hey, let's make them stop using as
Well,
much.
okay. Well, there's
But
there's a reason for it though. It's
well,
like
yeah,
they've got to stop things from catching fire, you know?
yeah,
But
I
additionally,
can see,
for what it's
but
worth, I mean, this is the default quality setting. Like by
yeah,
default, it's going to save whatever you had it at prior. But with this, they're just going to, as I understand it, it's not hit me yet. I'm still seeing things in 1080p and 4K by
Yeah,
default,
yeah,
but
same actually.
as I expect to see this, rolling out more and more, um, the way I understand it is that they're going to set it as 480p whenever you load up a video, and then you have to switch it back to 1080 or 720 or 4K or whatever your choice is. Um, so it's just the default thing. It's just a small thorn in our side. But the thing is, as we're the people that care about that, we're probably in the minority, I think. Like, I don't know. I think of the people that this is going to, like, help save data through, and I think of, like, grandmothers or, like, actually my mother.
yeah,
Like, the people who, like, don't really care and are like, oh, I can see it fine. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
or like, at worst, they'll be like, oh, why is it so blurry? And not know you can actually change the video quality setting.
true.
It's a weird perspective that, like, the people who genuinely care about this type of stuff are kind of in the minority. I mean, Microsoft put out a stat a couple years ago, and this is one that blew my mind. I don't remember the exact number, but it was an extremely, like, below 5% of Windows users use Alt-Tab. And if memory serves, it was, like, significantly lower than 5%. That's a high ball, because I don't remember the statistic. It was something like
Wait,
3%.
less than 3% of users used Alt Tab.
Holy shit.
Something along those lines, yeah. It was like,
That is nutty.
yeah. Like, if you had asked me prior to seeing the data on that, I would be like, probably like 60%,
Yeah,
50, 60%. That would make sense.
oh,
That is like one of the most used, for me at least, keyboard shortcuts of all time.
Yeah,
yeah,
same.
definitely. I used it probably daily as I use my computer.
Right. And then the news breaks. It's like, oh, that few? And
I
it's like that was the point where my whole world kind of shook, and I was
And
like,
then you feel
okay.
like Hacker Man.
I mean, okay, listen. This is an idea I stole from Term. I know you're not listening to me, Term, but hi, I'm waving
Because
my
he doesn't
hand. You can't
support
see.
us.
Yeah, I can't believe Term
Friends
hates
support
us.
One
friends.
term.
But no, he like tweeted out once. He was like, if your command prompt text isn't set to green, you're not a real hacker. And since that day, I have had mine set to that beautiful matrix green. So shout out to Term wherever he is. Probably playing Doom Eternal. Let me look at Discord.
You want to know where he is? I'll give you his address live on stream. I can just say it. No, I won't.
um
Connecticut. No,
Connecticut.
that's wrong. That's not real, by the way.
I can't believe he's doxing the dog.
He's
Something-
dogs.
Something that might
I-
actually be
Okay,
surprising.
Scott, get out. Get out.
I'm sober.
You should
We
be
can't
making
tolerate
these
this
jokes
kind
when
of
you're
behavior.
sober, Scott.
That's why I'm making these jokes. I'm better when I'm not sober, Andy. This is the whole
Oh.
crux of my existence.
Okay, then start drinking right now. Wait, don't.
Hold on.
um so I just want to add on to your alt tab thing. About a year and a half ago, I actually learned about the shortcut to bring up Task Manager instantly, Control Shift Escape.
Oh yeah.
So like now that I'm thinking about that number 3%, like it's probably not that ironic because people just don't know.
Oh
They
yeah.
would just push minimize and then go to another tab. But like, I don't know. I feel like once you learn something, it feels weird to not know how many people use it.
Right,
I feel like
right,
that's
right. Well, I mean, you
um,
live within your own bubble, and this is not like
yeah, yeah.
and it's like that's just how people are. I mean, I can start throwing out like other Windows shortcuts, and I bet a lot of you wouldn't know them. I mean, like they're daily ones for me. Like is more easy ones I've used for years. Like you can hold the Windows key and press R to bring up the run prompt. The way I open Notepad is literally just I hit WinR, and usually Notepad is my last thing I've opened with that, so it's just WinR enter, and I go to Notepad because it saves your last entered thing.
Yeah.
Or you could do like, let's see, there's a couple other ones I'm trying to think of. A lot of these get depreciated. I know Windows and Tab is, it's called Timeline now in Windows 10. It was originally like, oh, I can't remember what they called it. It was like the Virtual Desktop Manager thing at that time. But like, it's a quick and easy way to manage virtual desktops. You just go WinTab, and it shows you a bunch of your history, like things you've opened up recently, activities you've done, pages you've gone to. You can like switch between virtual desktops and stuff. And that virtual desktop feature has like almost no usage because A, almost nobody knows about it, and B, even for those of us that do, I don't use it very often. I use
It's
it for
funny you
when
say that. So my laptop has an issue where if I'm playing a game, like let's just say Destiny 2, if the game crashes and I'm trying to play it and it won't let me escape the game. If I push, Control Shift Escape, it won't let me bring up my task manager. Like literally, the only thing I can do is reset my computer. But if I have another desktop set up, so I have two separate desktops. If I have on that second desktop my task manager already open, when I push Control Shift Escape, it instantly swaps to my second desktop, and it allows me to switch off of that first one that's crashed, and then I can close Destiny without having to reset my computer.
yeah, that is actually also an issue that got introduced with Windows 10, and I hope you all can forgive me for talking about this, but like it's
Andy, talking about Windows.
yeah, no, this is crazy. It's not like I used to have like a podcast dedicated to it. Um, I don't know. I mourn it every
I'm gonna have a
day.
fucking drink now, that's for sure.
Oh,
Did you
but
guys know Andy used to do professional things? I did.
see, this is all part of my plot. Yeah, my plot, Scott. I hate that that rhymes.
Yeah. I also hate that it rhymes. Continue.
But anyways, no, there was like an issue introduced with Windows 10 in its initial release with regards to what's the word? I don't know if it's like elevation or something. Priority. Priority's probably it.
Sure.
That a lot of applications can now take higher priority than the Windows Explorer, which makes up the taskbar. A lot of the common windows you see, like any file explorer window, of course. Task Manager is technically one of them, I think. But yeah, no, it's a priority issue. So a crashed game can just like stay over Task Manager, Explorer, etc., and you have to move it to another virtual desktop to get rid of it. It's a really annoying thing. I don't know why they did it. There's probably some reason, and I probably disagree with it. But that's the only way that I use virtual desktops myself. Okay, the nerd stuff's done. It's done.
Are you sure?
Not really. But yeah.
I am. I'm sure.
Yeah. So, anyone else have any thoughts on everything slowing down so that the internet can survive whatsoever, or
I kind of just think the concept itself is kind of like insane. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I never thought it would ever happen. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
That's kind of it. Like, those were the extent of my thoughts on it, though. I don't
yeah.
really use YouTube very much, so.
It it's a weird thing, which like summarizes most of my life right now, and it's just like I don't know. May you live in interesting times. Hopefully you won't.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of traffic that like with like a couple years they could have adjusted to, but like overnight not really prepared for that constant traffic always. I'm curious to see how this goes though as other sites and services follow
Mm-hmm.
suit.
It's crazy. Like, I'm getting fucking COVID notifications from like my 7-Eleven app.
Oh yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
okay. Listen, I get a nightly COVID-19 newsletter from the local Marco's Pizza place.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to live in the
They
future
have it
anymore.
on fucking Spotify. like,
Oh
like,
yeah,
bro, I'm here to listen
the
to
the
music.
Spotify one is really funny because like it is different for every single country in the world. A couple of my European friends, one of which might be listening to this, we were comparing the different notifications we got on Spotify. They all have completely different hashtags, completely different wording based off of the country you're in. It's
Nice.
really intricate and interesting. But before we move off of the whole COVID and things because of it thing, one thing that's like tech related that I found kind of neat, and also actually it is actually a video game. Have you ever heard of iRacing?
No.
No.
Okay, it's a racing simulator that's been around for, I want to say at least 10 years. I remember hearing about it in 2010, if my memory's correct, at the very least. But it's a really detailed, intricate simulator, and I want to say that it's free or low cost. And there's a lot of racing organizations, which is like racing is like one of the few sports that you can like accurately simulate and like do that from home. And I know NASCAR in the States used it. Like they broadcasted an iRacing race that the racers did from their home, professional drivers just in sims in their home. And that was the moment where I kind of looked at the TV when my brother was showing me that, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm living in the future, kind of. It doesn't look like Blade Runner, but like, I don't know. We've got like simulated races live on TV.
God. Why did you have to say Blade Runner? Every time I hear it now, I think of like the meme of like Ryan Gosling like being mad that he doesn't have a girlfriend. Literally every time.
I mean, that's my future, buddy.
I just play the scene of him like freaking out in my head. It's so funny. Like, it shouldn't be.
But yeah, like I know NASCAR in the States use that. Or at least I heard that like F1 in Europe was doing that. It's just like, I don't know. It just blows my mind, dude.
Yeah.
And I just like, I think to myself like, okay, what else could be simulated like that? Because like most physical sports, you can't really do that. Like, that being said, I would be down to see like a Wii bowling tournament on ESPN.
I think some
Yeah.
hockey teams were doing that. I remember seeing the New Jersey Devils, like they had like a fucking NHL, the newest fucking NHL game, whatever. I don't fucking play them,
Mhm.
but there was like a game between them and I think like the New York Islanders. I think because I remember I saw like them tweet about it, and I was like, where I saw them say like goal 5-2 New Jersey Devils, and I was like, bro, you can't be playing hockey right now. What the fuck? And then I like looked at it, and I was like, oh, it's a video game.
Yeah, that's technically still a simulation, but like when I say like full on simulation, I mean like the input methods are the same, 1-to-1, you know? Which for a racing sim, you can do that. Not the case with like physical sports for the most part. Unless you were to hook like motion sensors all over somebody's body and put like 20 years of research and development into a thing.
Kind of like the that movie that came out about like the what was it, the Oasis is what it was called?
Don't. Andy's gonna blow a fucking gasket.
Okay. There are two people of note who have come out of my town in the past 50 years. One of them is a serial
You
killer.
had to just
The
fucking
other
say
is
it.
Ernest Klein. I hate them equally.
You just had to fucking say it.
It hurts.
Apologies.
I'm gonna become famous just so that like the last famous person from our town is not Ernest Klein of all the people.
Okay.
I'm not. I've never been mad in my life. I want you to know.
Yeah, you're just mad because he wrote a book about your fucking fantasy and you don't like it.
Listen, okay? That man did the Gundam wrong, okay?
There's no greater crime than doing the Gundam wrong.
Yeah, no, listen, that deserves death.
Gundam is stupid.
I'm loading the gun, Scott.
Do it. You won't, coward. I don't even think you have a gun, Andy. You say it all the time. I've never once
Ooh.
heard you cock it. I don't know.
Ooh.
One day,
Yeah, I'm
Scott.
calling you out. I'm calling you out live on stream.
He's just
right now.
practicing good gun safety, man.
Yeah, listen. Scott, if I fired off a round into my ceiling every time we did one of these podcasts just for a bit, I probably would do it if
Well,
I
don't
could.
fire it into your ceiling. Open the window and like shoot it like a
Scott, no!
God.
You fucking idiot. Shoot it at like a
Gosh.
45-degree angle into the air, because then it can never hurt anybody. Duh.
It'll just go on forever.
Yeah, it'll just never stop.
Oh gosh.
This is a gun safety tip. Don't.
Yeah, here's a
Don't.
big gun safety tip. Don't have guns. This post brought to you by Canada Gang.
It's funny you said this. I literally just brought a gun home yesterday.
That's fucked up.
I got back from my mom's house and all my guns were up there, and I wanted to bring one of my
All
first
your
guns I ever had,
guns?
so- most of them. I
How
wanted to
many
bring- I
guns
wanted-
do you own, Mr. Americano?
I've got
I
two
own
right
four.
here, baby. One
I
on each
own-
arm.
I own four guns. So
Why do you need 4 guns?
one's a hunting rifle. One's my first gun, which is the 22
But
rifle.
you don't
just
need
like a
to
little bird
hunt if
rabbit
there's
gun.
a fucking McDonald's down the street, asshole.
I also have a shotgun for home protection, and then I also have a 38 special, which is
Yeah.
a revolver. It's a
Just
hand,
in
it's a
case the
pistol.
guy breaks into your house unarmed, you have a shotgun ready to disembowel him at a moment's notice.
Exactly.
USA, baby.
Personally, I like to have a drone within my home at all times, armed with predator
Isn't that
missiles.
just you? Oh, never mind.
Predator missiles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, listen, if the whole house blows up just to stop one guy and I go along with it, then like, no one really loses anything. Just think about it.
I don't want to think about it.
Oh, okay, then don't think about it.
Good. I'm
Then-
way ahead of you, pal.
Then how about we think about the Witcher and Warhammer sale on Steam right now? That is a segue right there.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of global thermonuclear war,
Oh boy. So yeah, if you happen to be a PC gamer and use Steam, which if you're listening to this, odds are you have it installed at the very least.
shame on you.
Yeah, shame. The fact that you're not playing all of your games off of a PlayStation Portable really does disgust me.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up that you would do that.
Absolutely crazy. But no, there are sales running right now on the Warhammer franchise and the Witcher franchise. The Warhammer sales just so happen to seem like they end on March 27th, and this applies to both like 40K and fantasy games, though not all of them on Steam. It seems kind of selective. Like as I kind of look it up, like Total War Warhammer 2 is not on sale, but Warhammer Vermintide 2 is. Scott could
Hell
sell you
yeah.
on that.
Vermintide is good as fuck. I mean, like, I don't know, it'd be a lot better if the devs could prioritize. But, it's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Vermintide 2, yeah, on sale for $7.49. You can get the content bundle, which
Okay, for $7.49, hell yeah, I get Vermintide too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
$7.49.
it's not bad. Then there's a content bundle that includes, I guess, all the expansions or something. That is
Yeah.
53% off. Normally like $70. Now it's down to 32. So that's not bad.
Yeah,
But then for
good.
but then like for 40K games, 40K Mechanicus is on sale for $12, and I have heard a lot of good stuff about that game, so I have half a mind to check it out. It's an interesting game. If anyone happens to know about Mandalore, who's one of my favorite YouTube reviewers at the moment, the guy did a video on that game recently, and I wonder if that's tied into the sale. But no, it looks fun. Very XCOM-like, but it's enough to be distinct.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
I'm
just
more of a fantasy guy myself.
I like both Warhammer universes, though it like really depends on what I'm into at the moment. I am perpetually a fan of cool-looking sci-fi stuff, though, so like I've got that bias towards 40K. Forgive me.
Yeah, and I'm like the opposite, whereas like, I think sci-fi is stupid, so I like the traditional fantasy. That was like a really mean way to say it. I don't know why I said it like that.
See, all these nerds are over here thinking about their
Yeah,
spaceships and stuff,
all
and I'm
these
just
dorks.
like, listen,
And I'm
take big.
just like, I wish I had an elf wife.
I mean, that's relatable. But
Yeah.
Can we get a hell yeah in the chat for anyone who wants an elf wife? Let me just
Carillion, please be real.
I'm really happy one of my friends isn't watching. He absolutely,
Me too.
completely despises elves. Like,
Why?
I
Because it's
like we
because
were.
it's the funny meme to do so.
I don't know. We were playing ESO a while back when it was actually very popular still. Um, and I was playing as an elf character, and he saw my character and instantly alt F4 and uninstalled his
Um,
game.
does your friend
And I
does
was like, okay.
sounds to me like he's a coward.
does your friend by any chance say Deus Vult unironically?
Say what?
Okay, good.
Was he playing a dwarf or anything?
No,
Around elves, watch yourselves.
not too sure. Not too sure what he was playing. Actually, I don't remember. It's been years.
I mean, okay, so I like elves in general. I think we're fine. I like Warhammer elves, or specifically like I guess the wood elves, because there's a bunch of different elves, right? The
Right.
wood elves in fantasy are literally like just don't go into the fucking forest. Like please, like we'll kill you if you do, but if you don't, we'll just chill. And like that's I vibe with that. So like that's why when I played Total Warhammer 2, I played wood elves because it was just like don't like literally get off my fucking land, Whitey.
Ugh. So I'm looking over some of the other like Warhammer games on sale, and for the side of 40k games, it doesn't seem to be that many, which is kind of disappointing. Gladius isn't on sale. That game is very good. Dawn of War isn't on sale. That game is very good. Space Hulk Deathwing is on sale. That game is not very good.
The game is God. If you ever wanted to play as a big bulky marine but feel like a toddler, that's the game for you.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with it. Um,
Oh, look at this bolter. These things like could tear someone in half, and then it's like plink, 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 and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, it seems like it's mostly just Mechanicus that's on sale. Vermintide's on sale. I don't know if there's like any other Warhammer Fantasy games other than like Total War and Vermintide.
Mordheim is a really good Warhammer Fantasy game.
Mordheim. Let's see if that one's on sale. Looks like it. Yes, Mordheim is on sale for just under $7. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's a good ass game if you like strategy RPGs, like Final Fantasy Tactics or whatever, stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to
It's
look into
hard
that though.
because it plays like the dice rolls are pretty rough,
Hmm.
but it's fun and it's not like complete bullshit RNG. It's more so if you like don't understand the game, it's like you just get murked.
You're
But
saying I have to understand this video game, Scott, and you're putting me
yeah,
off it.
it's weird. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can't just spend $400 and look pretty.
Oh man, I hate when games don't let me spend
Yeah,
$400 to
Sam.
look
I
pretty.
know. I wish I could spend $400 in every game I played, honestly, because I'm a good little consumer.
I wish I could spend $400 to look pretty, but I don't have that cash.
Mhm.
Anyways, what I do have is $15. And that $15 on the other side of the sales that we're bringing up here, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Game of the Year edition.
Hell yeah.
$15, 70% off on Steam right now. I'm not sure if that price is also on GOG. I'd assume it would be
Um,
because they're
I
generally
don't
pretty good
know.
about that.
But I
Like,
do know The Witcher 3 is on sale, like on PS4 as well, if you're one of those people like me, doesn't play
that's
PC.
interesting. I wonder if that's also on sale on Xbox now.
Maybe. I
Because the
would.
Witcher sale also goes on much longer than the Warhammer sale. That ends April 6th. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
gives you like, yeah, close to 2 weeks. Yeah, so you got quite a bit of time if you're interested in picking up Witcher 3. I'd hope that Witcher 2 would be on sale as well. Oh, yeah. Funny enough, Witcher Trilogy Bundle on Steam, though the Trilogy Bundle doesn't include the Game of the Year edition of Wild Hunt. That's
Oh, whack.
weird. Yeah, but it's $15 for Witcher 1, 2, and base Witcher 3.
That's
Uh,
still pretty good.
yeah, that's like really good. It's $3 for Witcher 2.
That's fucking awesome.
Uh, $1.49 for Witcher 1 Enhanced.
Uh-huh.
That
Uh,
is
Um,
crazy.
as far as I know, you can still get Witcher 1 Enhanced for free if you download Gwent for free and subscribe to the newsletter for free.
That's your
And then
tip of the week,
and then
folks.
you just get The Witcher 1.
Okay, GOG has a spring sale going on right now as well, so I'm sure the Witcher games are on sale there, given that, they're literally owned by the same company.
Yeah.
They also happen to have, on GOG right now, Pathfinder Kingmaker Explorer Edition, $14.
Hell yeah, get fucking Pathfinder.
That's
It's
right on
so
the front. That's
good.
right on the front page of the store, and Scott has been shilling that for a
Oh,
good many
that game
years.
is so fucking good. A good many years. Yeah.
It feels like years. The years
I'm
of
sorry.
January 2020, February 2020, March 2020, and
Look, I get genuinely excited for maybe one thing every 4 years. Let me have this
I will for now.
for now.
This GOG sale
Yeah.
also seems pretty good. While we're on the subject of sales, I'm not going to go on forever about it, but on their front page right now, they also have a selection of spring sale classics. That's got 5 days left on it. There's you can get the original Deus Ex for 97 cents.
Holy shit.
You would be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't go pick that up.
I'm not going to.
Well, okay, well, you like disservicing yourself, so you're into that.
Like, I have a laptop that can run it, and it's 97 cents, and I'm still not going to get it.
I'm shaking my head even if you can't see me.
97.
That's okay.
Let's see. Yeah, they've got like lots of stuff in here. Not many things I'm particularly interested in, though they do have that bundle of Warcraft 1 and 2 for $12. That's pretty good.
Shit, why not?
Yeah. Hey Scott, Blade Runner.
Ah!
It's in the sale. Baldur's Gate
Yeah,
for $10.
I think I remember seeing GOG tweet about the Blade Runner sale, actually.
Yeah, which is interesting because that game is getting like a I don't know if it was a remaster or a remake they just announced. I want to
I
say
don't remember
I want
either.
to say it was one of Night Dive's remakes, ports, remasters. Ren and I were having a discussion about what to call those things. All I know to say is that like when Night Dive ports a game, it's the definitive version. So
Mhm.
if memory serves me correctly, and that is from Night Dive, that they're handling Blade Runner, I'm gonna wait for the Night Dive version. But yeah, sales. There's plenty of them.
Spend your money, little consumer man.
I mean, hey, you're not going to be spending it on food in a restaurant anytime soon, so why not?
God, don't remind me. I miss the bar so much.
I've been craving chicken nuggets for like the past week.
You want to talk about it, Scott?
What, missing? No.
Okay. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
Making
surviving.
making sure. All right. Now we're going to get to one of my favorite highlights of the night. GameStop, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan, are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
I'm going to take a swig of my non-alcoholic Powerade first.
Whack.
Not specific. Hold on. You have to specify it's non-alcoholic Powerade. Can I
Yeah.
ask why?
Have you ever had alcoholic Powerade, Dylan?
Yeah.
Drink.
What the fuck?
I have a bad past. That's why I don't drink.
Oh, okay, I got you. You're good. Don't
No,
bring it
it's
up
not.
next
It's
time.
not. It's not. I have a bad past on myself. It's just things I went through as growing up as a
Mhm.
child.
Right. Even worse. Let's stop.
Exactly. I agree. Anyway,
shock really
do the
quick.
GameStop.
I'm gonna go pour myself a rum and coke. No, I'm not.
No, do it,
I'm
man.
just-
Like I'm all
no,
for
no.
it. Like I have no
No, no,
issues.
no.
with
Okay,
people
so
drinking.
listen. I'm gonna bring up display capture here real quick
I
because
actually am going to.
okay, well we're talking about GameStop here, and Ming brought up GameStop banking. I've got this saved. I don't remember how old this is, but this is one of my favorite things on the internet. So I've got it up on the screen. I'm gonna read this post.
I'm Commander Bennett, and this is one of my favorite things on the internet.
Does anyone else use GameStop as a bank? I got really pissed off with US Bank because I kept overdrafting my account even though I opted out, and the same thing happened with my credit union when I got a debit card. Now whenever I get paid, I go pre-order a whole shitload of games. Whenever I need money, I go to the nearest GameStop and ask for my money back on a game I don't want and make a withdrawal. The lines are shorter at GameStop than at the bank, and I can trade in old games and have money to go straight to my savings account. GameStops are just as prevalent as banks in my town, and I work at a mall, so it's even more convenient than running an errand to the bank or using an ATM and getting charged. The GameStop people are starting to catch on that I'm just moving money around and only buying one pre-ordered game a year, if that, but there isn't shit they can do about it. The best part is, since I always pre-order every game coming out, I'm still guaranteed to get all the exclusive content, whether or not I'm sure I want a certain game. It's like they're rewarding me for banking with them.
Big
That's
fucking
amazing,
brand.
actually. that's like the largest of all the big dick energy.
Yeah, for real.
But this guy is
That's literally he
certainly...
literally found a life hack. That is literally a life hack.
I'm sure this guy is devastated right now.
Yeah, but I was gonna say his bank just got closed down.
Yeah.
Because somebody at GameStop had the bright idea, what with all these non-essential stores around the country shutting down, as they should, to, avoid spreading a deadly virus.
Stay the fuck inside.
Yeah, I'm echoing
Don't
that.
go outside.
But they decided to send out a note to all of their employees asking that they tell law enforcement that they are essential retail, and I quote, because of the services they provide to enhance their customers' experience, they are essential. How?
It's so hard to
I don't understand the thought process.
I kind of do. It's desperation. GameStop
I mean-
financially has not been doing so hot for, I don't know, 5 years at minimum. It's been a long time that they've been kind of floundering, and it gets worse every year. I think this is going to be the breaking point. Where,
The
like,
thing is, if GameStop doesn't come back from this, what's next?
Just sell fucking physical copies out of your fucking trunk, back alleys.
Like, yeah, you can still pre-order it directly from the websites. I mean, and like you can go to Walmart and stuff to get it. But like, there's nothing kind of like GameStop out there. I mean, you have your little city places and stuff, and there are some places like Replays, but like, there's nothing really like GameStop out there for getting games.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree.
Well, Dylan, I'm also going to disagree, and I'm going to tell you to fucking support small businesses, you capitalist fuck.
I definitely do. I go to a bunch of small businesses. We actually have one here in where I live. It's probably closer than the GameStop is.
Nice.
And I go to that one more than any of the other ones, not only because they sell video games and stuff, but they are also a card shop. And I like to go because I play Magic the Gathering, so I go and look at their cards, and it's kind of like a hobby shop and a GameStop. They do like
Nice.
board games and everything. It's really nice. It's in, and they also their returns are like 50% more than GameStop, and it's amazing. So,
But, I mean, like, for, like, what comes next after GameStop, though, like, for, like, nothing. Honestly, they are dying for a reason.
Oh, it's fucked
I would
up.
say,
I was
I
just
would
starting
say,
to like GameStop. Last time I was in there with my buddy, last time I was in there with my buddy, he bought Dragon's Dogma, and then the cashier was like, she was like, "Oh, that game is mad underrated," and I was like, "Yes."
I mean, there's a lot of good people that work at GameStop, but, like, the way the company is run from, like, the upper levels is, like, terrible. Genuinely awful. This is the same company that would, like, let's see, what was it? They were taking, like, I'm trying to remember. This has been a couple years, but they were taking, like, copies of, like, Xenoblade Chronicles. They were making their own cases for them and trying to sell them as new stock.
Oh yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, it's like, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. This company has been bad for a good many years. It has gotten exceptionally worse over the past 5 at minimum.
Oh, but they just got Reggie.
It's so sad that Reggie is going from his career at Nintendo to a career at a sinking ship, you know?
It's not sad at all. That guy has more money than I could ever possibly imagine. I don't fucking care what he has to deal with.
Nah, I know, but, like, I don't know. Reggie was actually one of the few video game execs that I liked, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, Reggie is a great dude for all intents and purposes, but it's like, oh no, they probably gave me a shitload of money to come here, and now they're gone. That money is still mine.
Fair. Reggie's probably fine. I mean, Reggie's absolutely fine.
Reggie is definitely just big chilling right now. So like, I don't know. I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like people I like working for bad companies. I don't know. Leaves me with all these conflicting feelings. And we're not about conflicting feelings on the Gamer Zone, buddy. We go
No,
all
I only
in.
have one feeling, and it's anger all the time.
Same.
Never
Except towards
conflicts.
different subjects.
Yeah, I get I get angry about shit that doesn't matter. You get angry about shit that like typically should make people angry.
Yeah, I like to think that at least.
I look outside and see someone get mugged, and I'm like, should have taken a different back alley. And then you would see that and just just get angry. So like, you know,
Oh, man.
bro, you know these streets. Like I don't know why you thought going down there was a good idea, but whatever.
One of the last things I want to say about GameStop, though, is that, like, after they put out that notice where they were like, yeah, tell the cops we're essential. Please, dear God, I'm begging
So
you.
funny.
Tell the cops
Insane.
we need to stay open. Please, we need to
Please.
sell copies of Modern Warfare.
Yeah, it's fucked.
But, like, after that, I think it was Pennsylvania that revoked their business license, and I don't remember reading if there was an end date on that, so maybe even after this all ends and is over, they literally cannot operate in one of the states of America. So congratulations, idiots.
Crazy.
So, Andy, do you
Yeah.
want to take a guess at what the last game I bought from a GameStop was?
Sure. Give me a moment to think.
Mm-hmm.
Drakengard 3.
It was. No, actually, I pre-ordered that and got. Actually, no. I have the like 10-year anniversary Drakengard box set that was Japan only, and then I got Drakengard 3. Actually, yeah, no, I got it from a GameStop, but it wasn't the last game I got from there.
Okay, well, I feel close.
You're not. It's an RPG. It's
I
one
mean-
that we typically make fun of.
Okay. Oh, no, is it Conception 2?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, it's Conception 2.
I walked right into that GameStop and I looked that man in the eye and I was like, I'm gonna purchase one copy of Conception 2.
Now, which platform did you
And-
get it on, the Vita or 3DS?
The Vita.
Ah, a man of
And
culture.
he didn't say anything because he was a big fat pimply guy, so he was probably like, yes, brother. But
So, for the uninitiated, Scott, you want to talk about Conception 2?
it's a game where you have kids, not sexually though, but you have kids and then use them as your party members in your JRPG battles. There's no sex in the game.
Classmating.
Yeah, it's called classmating, but they don't actually do anything. It's not even implied. It's completely normal.
Completely normal.
You just use kids to augment your stats for murder.
Completely normal.
It's
So I wanna
a
give
totally good video game.
Yeah. So, yeah, just be like Scott. Buy a copy of Conception 2, buy a
Go
PlayStation
into
Vita.
GameStop, buy the weirdest anime shit you can. That's literally all I ever bought from there. I'd go there and get like Atelier Games or like Conception or whatever. And like they'd always be like, "You sure you don't want a copy of Modern Warfare?" And I'm like, "No, I'll buy Atelier Aisha Alchemist, Alchemist of Dusk or whatever."
You
And
know,
I'm like,
when you bought Conception, was that still when you were like looking like a Viking? And I'd say, you know, I'm saying-
I've looked like a Viking since I was 14.
Okay,
Like this, it doesn't go away.
I've got this like mental image of like being that like GameStop cashier and just seeing like I don't know, like Thor walks into my store and he's like, yes, one copy of anime.
I will take one anime and your finest mead.
And it's like I don't know, I love that. I bet.
Yeah, it ruled. That's why I do it. It's a power move. Nobody calls me out on anything I do because I look like a fucking Thor. So it rules. People at work just call me Thor for a nickname, and it's great because they'll do it by customers, and customers will be like, "What the fuck? Like, is that your name?" And I'm like, "Yes."
My name is Varg Varginson.
No, my name isn't Varg. Varg is a racist.
Oh,
Happy Leif Erikson's Day. I'll hang a dig a Durgan.
Herman Durgan.
When is
Don't.
Leif? Isn't that in like September 26th or something?
Bro, I don't fucking know.
all I know is now we have to do a special podcast on September 26th or something.
Yeah, and I'll drink mead, I guess. I've never had mead before. Heard it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We have a stream where Scott drinks mead for the first time live.
Sure, fuck it. I like alcohol.
All
That
right.
sounded a lot less fucked up in my head. Continue.
Ugh. But yeah, to bring a nice little closure to our GameStop story, they have since closed all stores across the country. And I'm going to give a shout out to Lordy in chat who says, how many gamers would go into game withdrawal if GameStop shut down? How many deaths? How much suffering? The answer is
It'll
many.
be like that episode of Metalocalypse where like there's no new Death Clock album and all their fans are like killing themselves and shit.
I want to note that after GameStop shuts down for good because of all of this, the shadiest organization with game in the name will be the Gamer Zone. That's our power. That's where we're gonna be in like less than a year because I can't see them coming back from this.
By the way, I looked it up. Leif Erikson's Day is October 9th.
October
Okay,
9th. I'll
October
remember
9th.
that.
Yeah, I will put that in my
I
calendar.
It's set to commemorate. Go ahead.
I have no Viking blood in me, actually. I just look like one, but that's not going to stop me from celebrating.
Excellent.
Well, here's a little bit of a backstory on it, real fast, if you don't mind. It's
Sure,
actually it's an actual U.S. national holiday. I didn't know this. It's
I
celebrated
didn't.
annually October 9th. That commemorates both the Icelandic Norwegian explorer Leif Erikson's first setting foot in North America and the accomplishments and the contributes of the Nordic Americans in American history and society.
Neat.
So,
Neat.
Hinga-diga-durgan.
Stop. Bro, that's racist. You're going to get us canceled.
Oh,
I can't believe Dylan just hates the Norwegians.
Nah.
so now we need to talk about talk with someone here who like definitely doesn't hate Norwegians because he listens to too much black metal. Scott, what are your thoughts on the Resident Evil 3 demo?
It is good.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's it's on the same engine as RE2, so I really can't like say too much, honestly. Because if you liked RE2 remake, you'll like this one because it plays pretty much the same. Obviously, it's different in that Nemesis is like your main antagonist. So like in RE2 remake, Mr. X was kind of just like an obstacle you could like position and avoid, right? But in 3, Nemesis is a much bigger problem because he's way more agile. He'll just show up like whenever, and instead of just like walking at you and punching, he can move around. Or like if you try to run away, he'll grab you with his fucking tentacle or whatever, right? So he's a much bigger threat. I guess to counterbalance that, they made him easier to air quotes kill. So like you can down him easier than Mr. X, which will give you time to get away, or you can just run away typically. But like I said, running away is harder than running away from Mr. X because he has gap closers and other such things. So that's fun.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, that's the only real big difference, honestly. Like besides, the story is totally different because different fucking game. But yeah, that's it really. That's all I got because it's a demo, right? So I don't
Right.
That's all I really
did
got
the demo
from
have
it.
a 30-minute time limit on it like RE2's?
Not when I played it.
Okay then, I'm assuming it doesn't because that was kind of dumb. I did kind of like the speedrun culture that came out of that though. That like
That's been a thing with like survival horror forever.
yeah, but
So
like
like
I don't know, like my entire timeline was flooded for a week with like beating the RE2 demo before that you were supposed to.
oh yeah.
Because that was like a 30-minute account-wide timeline. You had
Yeah.
30 minutes to finish that demo on your
and
account.
while we're talking about it too, actually, shortly after I played the demo, I had a dream, and I want to stress that it's a dream, not a nightmare. That Nemesis was hunting me at work. So I would be on the floor, stocking shelves or doing something, and he would burst through the roof, and I wouldn't like go, "Oh my god!" Ah! I'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And I'd have to like avoid him for like 5 minutes, and then get back to work, and everyone else would be like, "What was that?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it." And then I would continue working, and then sure enough, he'd bust through a wall again or something, and be like, "Stars!" And I was just like, "For fuck!" And this went on until I woke up. And like I think the thing that's the funniest to me is that I wasn't like it wasn't a nightmare. I wasn't like, oh my god, look at this horrible monstrosity. I was like, for fuck's sake, bro! Like I'm trying to get fucking cans out. There's no canned food.
That is incredible.
Leave me alone. Yeah, it was great. It was a nice change. Usually I have like really horrible dreams, so that was fun.
Whoa.
Don't think too hard about it.
I won't. I promise. All
Yeah,
right.
I woke up like laughing my ass off. I was like, what the fuck? And I like immediately had to like write it down so I didn't forget.
All right, fellas. Well, now we can all move on to probably my favorite topic of the night, the PlayStation Portable. 15 years ago today, the PlayStation Portable released in the United States of America, as well as probably a few other territories. I actually didn't look that up. I just saw the RPG site tweet. Whoops. But hey, listen, if you can't trust RPG site, who can you
Who
trust?
can you trust? They're like my favorite fucking journalism site.
I love them. I really do. James, you'd better be listening to this podcast right now.
I don't know your actual name, but HD Kieran on Twitter, you better be watching. You've interacted with me before. We're friends now.
He's not a stalker.
I'm not actually. Like that I find I don't want to go off on a tangent. I find that shit like fucking disgustingly horrifying when people like get that attached to personalities.
Yeah.
It genuinely terrifies me. I dated somebody that was like that.
Oh.
It was fucking weird, man. And that's where that story ends.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking. So picture this, okay? It's 2005. Sony has released a handheld game console right off of having two of the most successful video game home consoles in existence. At that point in time in the handheld market, in Eastern markets you had the Wonder Swan, but I don't think that came into play in the United States whatsoever, and if it did, it wasn't very much. And then you had Sega had the Game Gear, and that was just an absolute flop in the States. So Nintendo really was the only one who was able to make consistently good home and handheld consoles at the time that were also a success on the market.
Mhm.
So in comes Sony, absolute powerhouse with a handheld console. And it also has, as was pretty common at the time, this was, the middle of the 2000s,
Mhm.
its own proprietary weird media format. Two of them, to be exact, though I think one of the other, like the memory stick format on PSPs, I want to say, was also used on Sony cameras. But what wasn't used anywhere else was the thing that Sony had big plans for, and that was the UMD. UMDs, for those who aren't initiated with the PSP at all, they're weird. They're like miniature CDs, which gave Sony, all the benefits of like CD audio and stuff that you could not get on, say, the DS, because that was all cartridges. And at the time, like Switch cartridges now have size storage that like absolutely dwarfs anything the DS had to offer, of course. But cartridges were still a limitation at that time. So here comes a handheld that is basically a portable PlayStation 2. It's got the ability to have all of this fancy stuff stored on these little discs that would become an absolute pain for anybody to clean or deal with or load things off of. But on paper, the UMD was the future, right? Because they were like, we're also going to like put movies on this and stuff. And they released like a lot of UMD movies, which, man, that was something that like I almost completely forgot about until like thinking up stuff for this segment, because like UMD movies were kind of terrible. Not as terrible as trying to watch anime episodes on your Game Boy Advance.
Man, I remember doing that on my fucking PS3.
Wait, watching GBA videos
Watching,
on
no,
your
just like
PS3?
using the fucking internet on my PS3 all the time.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna say, like, are you just like
No, no,
specifically
no.
going to YouTube to look up poorly compressed anime?
God, I wish. No.
Ugh. But yeah, no, this is like before like streaming services were the big thing, so everybody needed a new media format to hold movies and music and everything, and it's like I still kind of regard that as like a special time because I'm brain dead.
Damn.
But I don't know, there was just something kind of magical about it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
All these like big like console tech leaps forward that would like lead into leaps forward for other platforms and stuff. I don't know. It was an enthusiastic time. Let's put it that way. Not everything enthusiastic turned out to be worthy of that enthusiasm, mind you, but it was an exciting thing. But yeah, the results after all these years was a phenomenal little handheld. Still probably my favorite handheld console to exist, even after.
Same.
I mean,
It's honestly like not even a contest for me. I was like thinking for a second. I was like, no, no, it's the best one.
yeah, no. It had premium hardware design. It felt so good to use. I'm not going to like it wasn't perfect. I'm not going to say it was like the best in the terms of like its controls necessarily. I like cuz like it had only one analog stick, which
Yeah.
which that was not good.
I don't know. I don't know. I love that analog stick.
Oh, the analog stick was good. It just needed another one.
Yeah,
Oh
just
well,
give
I
it
mean,
one
I
more,
feel like
please.
it really didn't though. Like I don't know. I played on my brother's because I never actually owned a PSP. My brother owned one, but I was
Mhm.
able to steal it from him and play it whenever I wanted. Really.
Mhm.
But like I played on his PSP probably like countless hundreds of hours. Like probably like 200, 300 hours. And as a kid, that's a lot of game time, you know.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, that analog stick, I loved it. I felt like it was so much better than having actual two analog sticks because you really didn't need that other analog stick for what you were doing. I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed
And
it. I didn't really care for it.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
I mean, I'd say that like games were well optimized to not need that second analog stick. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation Portable, something that just still blows my mind that it exists. It lacked the
Hmm.
campaign, but it lacked the campaign and like two maps, one of which was Geonosis, which was a shame because that's like one of my favorite Battlefront 2 maps, but like it was a pretty spot on port in like every other way. It controlled very well using the face buttons to move the camera, and it did feel natural, yeah, but like I still think of like, okay, how many more games would have flowed really well if that had another analog stick? Because Monster Hunter definitely did not.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
didn't stop me from playing it for 700 hours and getting fucking carpal tunnel.
And that there is why they needed a second analog stick.
like I
Listen,
understand.
you're not a real Monster Hunter fan if you don't have carpal tunnel, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World doesn't count.
Yeah,
Except
no,
except I
it's
kind of like that
casual
game.
baby shit. I love Monster
I,
Hunter World.
I
I'm just
understand.
kidding. I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, it's casual shit, because like it's a lot easier, but like in a good way. Because
Right.
Monster Hunter's barrier to entry was fucking stupid. So
On that note, anyone want to play Monster Hunter World with me?
I
I
only play on PS4.
I own it on Xbox. I've been looking for people for 3
I,
years.
I
I
I
only
only play
play it
on
on
PC.
PS4.
I bought it on launch day and could never find anyone willing to play it with me, so
I
couldn't
only
get
play
too
it on
heavy into it.
PC.
No.
Well, I mean, you can still like get heavy into it. You don't like need people.
I mean, I don't know. Monster Hunter is a series that like has always flowed better for me when playing with other people. Which this goes back to the PSP discussion. I promise I'm not letting this flow away because like my little brother and I both had PlayStation Portables, and we played. I want to say it was Monster Hunter Freedom maybe together.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so like
Freedom Third or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, and we had a real good time with that. Um, we played a lot of like local multiplayer games on that. The thing was just phenomenal for that. If you had two of those systems, just hold them close enough together. It didn't even need Wi-Fi, I don't think. Most of the internet was just like local,
Yeah.
and it just felt really good. It was fun to play, a lot of fun multiplayer games, a lot of good times to be had.
Um. Now it's time for me to judge you.
Okay.
What is your weapon of choice in Monster Hunter?
Okay. It has been 8 years, I want to say, since he and I played together.
Answer,
I
pussy.
think I was using great swords.
Okay, good. That's what I use.
Yeah, no, I
Great
mean my
swords are
mind. Okay,
there is nothing like knocking a fucking Rathalos out of the sky with a great sword.
I completely agree. But yeah,
You're
no,
just
like
sitting there
my
charging, and then it flies down, and you're like, just kidding. I'm the hunter here.
my method of choice for like picking weapons when I was like a teenager in game when it came to like picking stuff out in games, it was like I always went with heavy weapons because I was like, why am I going to spend a long time just to like doing like small damage over time? Like, no, I just want to hit him and I want that hit to hurt.
Yeah, like you see the guy with with the dual swords, like going fucking crazy for 10 whole seconds with his giant like demon form combo, and you're like, that's cool. I held X for 4 seconds, and the monster had lost half its health.
That's funny.
But I think my favorite like memory though, the PlayStation Portable and me getting it though, was when I like first got mine. Because it was my 14th birthday. Um and I got it with a copy of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I knew nothing about Kingdom Hearts at the time except for that like and if I yeah, no, I'm remembering this correctly. I wanted to get a PlayStation Portable and play Kingdom Hearts because of Matt. And Matt, I know you're out there. I'm not calling you as a joke on the show again because you're somehow in like one of my most recently active contacts now because I keep calling you to bring you on the podcast and be like, "Hey, look, it's the Druids."
God.
But like, no, like Matt was posting on the forum I ran about like Kingdom Hearts and stuff, and I was started looking it up and I saw Birth by Sleep and I like the name alone got me interested. I was like, that sounds weird.
Now we know what you're into.
I hate you.
Me too.
I was a nice and pure 14-year-old, Scott.
That's fucked up.
But like, it's like Birth by Sleep. That sounds very distinctly different. I like it like
Yeah.
interested me because of that. And so, 14th birthday, I got a copy of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep with my PSP 3000 unit. I also got Star Wars Battlefront 2, and this is a weird one, but it was good. The licensed Iron Man game.
Weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people who likes that game. But no, I enjoyed all of those, even if at first, like, and keep in mind, when I was 14, I was still getting my opinions from YouTube reviews,
Well, yeah.
as you do. But like not you now. That came out worse than I thought.
That's cool. Just let it rock.
But no,
Just calling Scott out like that.
I already established
There's-
earlier in the video that I don't watch fucking YouTube, so it's fine.
yeah. But no, there was like all these like YouTube videos about like how bad licensed games were, which most are. Let's not like try to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Like we did not lose much when licensed games stopped being made. There's interesting ones that I miss. There's a lot of games that I wish would still be made today because like I think the gems made up for the trash, but at the same time, we're fine where we are without them.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine with them being mobile cash grabs now. Let's be real. But anyways, though, so I went into it and I was thinking like, okay, this is gonna be bad because like everything I see on YouTube now, like this was like one of those like YouTube at that time would like go through phases, and it was in like the angry video gamer phase. Where everyone wanted to be AVGN, so everybody wanted to make angry videos about licensed games. And so I went into this thinking, okay, it's based off a movie, it's going to be awful. And I don't know if it was because I had my expectations so low or what, but I ended up really enjoying it. I'm going to just say, if I wrote for a very important games publication, I would say, it makes you feel like Iron Man.
Fuck. It's very immersive.
It's like Dark Souls, actually.
It's like the Dark Souls of Iron Man.
Why not the Iron Man of Dark Souls?
Shut up.
That's a good
Dylan.
question.
Don't fucking question IGN, alright?
Oh, but no, like, it had all these neat little details that, in hindsight, probably didn't need to be there. Like, you could redirect power to different parts of your suit to change things up in combat, and I thought that, like, that in particular was really neat. Had big open levels for a PSP game. It's like, and I looked at it and I was like, wow, I'm doing all of this on a handheld. That's crazy. And then I popped that out. In goes Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and immediately it's again, I am playing this on a handheld. That's insane. Because at that time, I was behind the times with video games because we didn't have much money growing up. So like, for starters, I'm thinking back, and I'm pretty sure my brother used his Air Force money to get me that PlayStation in the first place. But like, I had a hand-me-down Game Boy Advance. That was the only video game system that I had that was a handheld. We also had a Wii my aunt got us for Christmas a couple years prior, but like, For handheld games, my expectation was like Super Mario Brothers 2 or F-Zero GX.
Yeah.
That wasn't GX. It was like it was something. It was one of the two Game Boy Advance F-Zeros. You can look them up on your own. They're both pretty good. I liked them a lot. But that was my kind of expectations for a handheld. And I don't know. It's like Birth by Sleep very much was a PlayStation 2 game on the go. And that just genuinely blew my mind when I played it. And there was nothing else like it for me, you know?
Yeah.
And even if in hindsight a lot of this stuff is so primitive compared to what we've got now, there was just this magic there that, like, I don't have to chase after it. I know it's not ever coming back, but I can cherish the time I had where that magic was there. It was a real fun time.
Damn. Andy having feelings and shit live on stream.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Weird. Couldn't be me.
Could never be
I'm just
him.
kidding. I have feelings all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when I watch certain TV shows.
Yeah, shout out to Lauren.
Shout out to
What's wrong,
Lauren.
Lauren?
Honestly, when Lauren like added me in the TV thing, I was like, oh, wow, new Shira. I like jumped out of bed. It was kind of fucked up.
Well, I don't want to hog all the time.
Oh, it's cool.
If anybody,
I'm not gonna talk about that really, but yeah, the PSP. I'm trying to think of the first game I played on it that made me go like, holy shit, like kind of like you,
Mhm.
and like I don't know, probably yeah, like playing Battlefront 2 on it for the first time. I think.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I at that point I'd already played a bunch of it on PS2, right? But it was more so that like, oh my god, I'm playing basically the same fucking game on a handheld. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
it was such a good port too.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. Like I still play it sometimes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
See, for me, I never played Battlefront, but kind of like we discussed before, before we started streaming and stuff. God of War was always the game that I played. That was the game I played mostly. Was God of War and or Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat was actually really interesting because you could run around. I know actually because before the stream I said that you play as Liu Kang, but I think you don't. I think you make your character. I think you have like a character creation, and then you get to train from the different characters, and you can make your own character kind of unique. But you would run around like this massive temple kind of thing, and you would collect like tokens to do stuff. But it was literally just it was like an RPG, and like you would run into random guys while you're running around, and then you would just commence a battle. And that's the way you fought the game. So it was kind of like Pokemon, like the new style Pokemon, how there's like just like the Pokemon are walking around. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that. But you could also do like tournaments and stuff like that, and you could train under, like your different masters, I guess you could say. And it was very interesting. I remember playing that game a lot, but I played God of War probably more than anything. I probably played that God of War Chains of Olympus. I probably beat the game like 5 times.
Nice.
I've played it so much. It was so fun. And the first time I ever played it, I was really young. 2005. I would have been. I think I started playing it probably 2006 when I actually started playing it too. So I would have been 8 or 9. So
Nice.
like I was young, yeah, So I loved it. Like my brother beat the game originally first, and then he was like, "Yeah, you can play if you want." And I was like, "Oh, this game's kind of hard." I was young, and I was like, "This game's hard. I don't really know what I'm doing." He was like, "I got you," and he put on the Spud of War costume that basically gave you all the abilities in the game and made it max level, kind of like you are at the end of the game. So I could run through the game basically overpowered the whole way. It was really fun for me as a kid, just running through the game, just have fun and kill stuff, and I played that game so much. It was so good. I struggled a lot, but that's actually I would say playing God of War actually is the reason I'm um so observant when it comes to playing video games now because it had so many hidden things like the hidden chests and stuff like that to upgrade your health and your magic and all that. I
Yeah.
would literally walk around like every wall and every crevice trying to find everything that was hidden. And nowadays when I play RPG games, like I do the same thing now because I was like, there might be something hidden here. Probably not, but there might be.
But if I don't check, I'll never know.
Exactly. So I'm super like cautious about that now just from playing God of War so much as a
man.
kid.
I mean,
So, and it was funny. No matter how many times I played God of War, because I said I beat it probably like 5 times, I would keep checking just in case I didn't get it the
In
first
case there
time
was
or the
something,
second
in
time
case
I
there was
played.
something you didn't see.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
oh man. Yeah, I think my most played game on the PlayStation Portable absolutely had to be Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2,
Mhm.
the original, of course. Obviously not the EA one, for those of you who are a bit younger out
Yeah,
there.
Zoomers.
All these Zoomers here in my chat. Every single one of them out there thinking like, ooh, Battlefront is from EA Star Wars. Well, actually, kiddo, it came out on the PlayStation 2, Microsoft Windows, the Xbox, and was it the Nintendo GameCube? I don't know if the GameCube got Battlefront 2. I'm going to assume it didn't.
I want to say yes, but I actually am not confident in that.
I want to say no.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing a GameCube box for it. Like all of a sudden, it's like, ooh.
I'll Google it really fast. We have
Okay,
the
okay.
world at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Battlefront GameCube.
Can't wait to be proven right.
I can't wait to be proven wrong.
Battlefront. No, but there was Star Wars, Clone Wars GameCube.
Same
There was also
thing. You
Rogue
guys are
Leaders.
both wrong.
There was also Rogue Leader.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
there was a couple Star Wars games that came out of the GameCube, but Battlefront, yeah, no, that was original Xbox. That was PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, and Windows, if memory serves correct. And I own that on everything but PS2 because I don't have a PS2. I love the game that much.
These are all of the following Star Wars games that came out for GameCube: was Bounty
Uh-oh.
Oh
Hunters, The
God.
Clone Wars, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, Lego
Yeah,
Star Wars
good
the video
game.
game, Lego Star Wars 2 the original trilogy, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader, and Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike.
I want to note, by the way, Dylan, that like you listed off more Star Wars games in that generation, and that wasn't all of them. There were way more. But
Oh
like
yeah.
when EA was given the exclusive usage of the Star Wars license, here's how many Star Wars games we've gotten in this generation. Electronic Arts, Star Wars Battlefront. Electronic Arts, Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's it. That's the
Round of
list.
applause, everybody.
Go
That's it.
Round of
home.
applause.
Go
Fucking
home.
nailed it. Take a bow.
Then you cut to like a couple generations ago. We had good Star Wars games coming out like every other year. And if I was Disney, that's what I would want. This is the same company that like wants to have 70 Marvel movies in theaters every year.
Yeah,
Like
boy.
they would absolutely
consume.
would love to roll around in that Star Wars money. And it's like, okay, I guess you could also count that we got like a Lego Star Wars based off of Force Awakens that got DLC for like the other two movies in the trilogy, I think. But like, I'm not even going to count the Lego Star Wars games here because that's unfair. I'm just counting original Star Wars games. I can just like go ham if I ever felt like it with the list of the last ones. I mean, you had Star Wars Bounty Hunter, you had Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, you had all those other games you listed for the GameCube. Tons of them. Almost all of them good. I think the only one from that generation I remember playing and disliking was like Star Wars Starfighter or something like that. It wasn't really good at all. And also it had like a bad Windows port. But even if the port was good, it would still be bad. It's not a fun game. But you had like the Jedi Knight games, all that stuff. Yeah, Lordy putting out Republic Commando in the chat. Yes!
Yeah. Republic Commando was fucking sick.
Republic Commando was like absolutely the best.
I remember the first time I played it. Okay, so I've always had like a big thing for AI in games.
Yeah.
Even if it's like AI, like you typically command, right? So when I played Republic Commando for the first time, like telling my guys to stack up on a door and then watching them like breach it, I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
It
Even
is
though
the
it's
coolest
literally-
thing ever.
Yeah, even though it's literally just like press a button, cool thing happens. To me, I was like, "This is amazing."
Okay, what really sold me on Republic Commando when I first played it was that like, it's really just kind of the immersion. Which
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. The HUD was fucking great.
Right.
I would love when you stab someone with a vibroblade and get their blood all over your visor.
yeah, and then the visor wipes it off.
Yeah,
It's like
fucking
that.
sweet.
That is like immersive visors in video games are like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, well, if you're playing like a serumed up fucking super soldier, you kind of want to feel like one. Take notes. That fucking Warhammer game we were talking shit about earlier.
Yeah, precisely that. Yeah, no, like water would fall on your visor and get wiped off. And one of the things I really liked about that game and how it was designed was that, like, it showed that stuff off to you within the first moments. In the opening of
Oh
that
yeah.
game, they show you rain on your visor and then the wiper going by. It's like, I don't know, they're just like hitting you with all the immersive stuff off the bat, and it felt so good. Republic Commando is a fantastic video game. Um, it's weird to think. When I got both of my Xboxes this generation, I played remasters of a couple generation ago games. One it was technically not even a remaster, but like when I got my and this plays into the PlayStation Portable, I promise. When I got my Xbox One, the first game I played on it was Final Fantasy Type 0 remastered.
Nice.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
I bought it just for the episode Disgaea demo, but like
Yep.
I like Disgaea, but like
Yeah, no, it's good. It's funny to like. Okay, 15's existence is funny to me. I don't want to get on like into that, but like I don't know. Just looking back at how it changed so much, even from the Duskay
oh
demo,
yeah, no.
it's like holy fuck.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, one of the reasons I didn't get as heavy into it when I got to play the final game was that it didn't play as much like Duskay as I wanted.
I mean, like I don't know. I think it played better than Duskay. I like Duskay having the giant. Here's a big yellow thing on the ground. Stand here for your team attack. Was like gross. It looked really bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't perfect, and a lot of the changes were for the better, but, like, I don't know. We'll talk about that later, though. But yeah, no, like, and then when I got my Xbox One X, I was tired of, like, waiting for stuff to install, so I figured I'd install an original Xbox game, because those run close to 4K, not at, but close to 4K on a One X. And I was like, okay, first thing I'm doing is I'm playing Republic Commando, and it looked great. Great video game. I not much else to say about Republic Commando. But there's just so much good stuff on the PSP. You had Star Wars, you had Kingdom Hearts, you had enough RPGs.
Final Fantasy Tactics,
Yeah.
War of the Lions, fucking Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together.
That's where the title for the episode comes from.
It all comes full circle.
I want to note this is 2 podcasts in a row that Scott has named.
I'm so fucking smart. I don't know. I feel like you should give me more credit.
I think we should start paying Scott for this.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay, so Scott,
Wait,
I've got
wait,
Sprite
Scott's
Gum
not
on your
getting
way.
Wait, hold on. So Scott's not getting paid. That means earlier when I asked him if he was a professional, he said you don't think I'm getting paid. So now we know he's
You
not.
need
being
to stop exposing the business, Dylan.
Oh man, video games.
There we go.
That's how I deflect from the fact I'm not paying
Yep.
Scott.
Yep.
He does it for free, just like the janitors.
I do's it for free.
What was a good PSP game that had a really good OST?
Most of the ones
Tactics
that
Ogre, Let Us Cling Together.
I mean, most of the games in this screenshot, or not screenshot, but like slide I got up on the screen to celebrate the PSP here, most of those have good soundtracks. You've got
Mana Chemia, that's part of the Atelier series.
Hmm.
Those games traditionally have amazing music, and Mana Chemia is no different. That game had a sick ass soundtrack.
Yeah, let's see. I have not listened to much Kingdom Hearts music in years, but Dearly Beloved still hits. Most of the songs from Birth by Sleep still hit, actually. Especially like...
Yeah, my favorite song was Terra is a Big Dipshit.
You know, he is, but I wasn't so judging when I was a 14-year-old, and I felt really bad.
Oh, I'm not judging him. I'm just saying that's my favorite song.
Oh, okay.
Do you not remember that song? It plays whenever he's on the fucking screen.
Yeah, in hindsight, Birth by Sleep is not the game I thought it was when I was a 14-year-old, but like, I will still cherish those memories forever.
Oh yeah, I love Birth by Sleep, but like you can like things and admit that they're not good. Like,
Oh yeah,
in a technical sense, I suppose.
Yeah, though I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
That's like everything
I booted up Birth by Sleep in the HD collection, like a while back, and I tried to play a bit of it, and it was just like, oh yeah, this was meant for a handhold. Yeah, like Terra's movement speed is like nightmare-inducing. I don't know. I played as Terra originally on my first playthrough, and and as a 14-year-old, I always liked Terra because again, he was the does big damage even if he moves slow character, and like that was my playstyle. And also, I thought he looked really cool. I still think he looks really cool. But
His
also,
Keyblade is like one of my favorites.
yeah, it was great. But also, he's an idiot.
He's a big dumb dipshit.
Big ol' idiot.
Hmm. Terra, what if you use darkness? And he's like, oh, that's a great idea. That sounds really good, Mr. Hunched Evil Man with yellow eyes.
Yeah, I know. I think over like the Kingdom Hearts character designs, and it follows the same like ideas of like, you know how like in old westerns it was like, well, the bad guy, like black and white movies, right? And it was like the bad guy has to wear the black hat that designates
Yeah.
that he's the bad guy. And then you get to Kingdom Hearts, and it's like Master Xehanort is like wearing all white, and then you have, or not, sorry, Eriquis wearing all white, and then you have like Xehanort walk in, and he's like, darkness, I love being evil. Do you see this child that I kidnapped? Terra, maybe you should be evil
Voice work
too.
this stream is exceptional.
You could do this too if you follow. I can't even like.
Come on, Terra, it's
God.
called darkness. That's not a bad thing.
They don't call it their old friend for nothing.
Come on now, Terra. Have you ever listened to Simon and Garfunkel?
They would never steer you wrong.
Oh, yeah, no, and then like that doesn't even just apply to Birth by Sleep though. Which like, I mean, Birth by Sleep literally did have Vanitas though, who was like, you know, what if we just took like your best friend and then made him like evil, and he's got like red veins all over his outfit? That's normal. Totally normal.
Yeah, that's fine.
All these people are in black robes.
Okay, so I don't know why I was thinking about this. It popped in my head. I remember playing this game. Did y'all ever play X-Men Origins
I remember it.
for the PSP?
Yeah,
PSP?
was that one of the ones
Yeah,
that was
it was-
like Marvel Ultimate Alliance or?
It was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh no! Oh,
Nope.
No,
I did not play that, but-
you literally play as Wolverine, and it was a PSP. It was for Xbox 360, PS2, PlayStation Portable.
I played that on
DS.
PS2.
You played it on PS2? I played it on
Yeah.
PSP, and I don't know why. It just popped in my head. I remember it being a pretty good game for
I always
what
heard
it
that.
was.
Yeah, I always heard that X-Men Origins Wolverine was a better video game than a movie. Not in the sense that like you could play the movie and it would be good. The movie is bad all around in every way, but like
there's
the
a
game was
fucking
really good.
There's a section of the game that's just a fucking horror game when you're fighting the
What?
Wendigo.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a horror game.
It's literally
I
a horror game.
need to check that out actually.
There's like
'cause-
fucking ripped up not ripped up, you see their guts and shit, but there's like dead bodies and like blood splatters everywhere, and because you're in the fucking frozen north where the Wendigo resides, and it killed all these people. And like I remember playing it as a kid, and I was like, I can't. It's terrifying. I was like, I can't. I was afraid of a fucking X-Men game. It was cool.
That's making me think
Well,
about how
really
New
cool.
Mutants is getting delayed indefinitely, and I'm still sad. I want an X-Men horror movie so bad. Ugh. So I guess I'm just gonna have to boot up my PlayStation Portable and
I
play
guess I'm just gonna
X-Men
have to
Origins
watch
Wolverine.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch any X-Men movie ever made.
I don't know. I mean, did I ever tell you, or did you ever see when I was doing that like watch through of every single X-Men movie that's been on hold for
Nope.
like close to 2 years now?
Nope.
I got up to and finished X-Men First Class, and I have not seen anything since. So maybe
Nice.
after this, I'll go watch the Wolverine. Ugh, I don't want to watch it. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better than its predecessors.
Who knows?
I'll
Not
find
me.
out. I'll find out. X-Men Origins Wolverine was like one of the most movies ever made. Like,
Mhm.
you could put any characters in it, and it would be like exactly the same. It did not have to be a Wolverine movie. It did not have to be an X-Men movie. It is a movie with a main character who does like gets chased by guys and then like kills some guys. And there's some explosions. Oh buddy, there's some explosions.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just like every single beat in that movie felt like it could be anything else. There was nothing that was like, yeah, this is the X-Men. Ugh. Anyways, I'm gonna think more about the PlayStation Portable now, so I don't have to think about X-Men Origins Wolverine. Ugh. Ming, do you have any thoughts on the PlayStation Portable?
Video games.
That is a
Thanks,
respectable
man.
thought. Respectable thought. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of games on there that I can go on about though. Like, I've got a lot of them in the image, like Persona 3 Portable, which Persona 3 and its different versions are a little weird. Scott and I have very differing opinions on the auto battle system. And like, I
Yeah,
totally
see, I
understand
never
his.
yeah, like I don't know, like I never had a problem with it. Yeah, sure, like Mitsuru would randomly Marin Karen somebody occasionally, but like I never lost a battle because of it. Like I see people that were like, it ruined my whole fucking playthrough because I was like, I don't know, I just don't get hit. Like in fucking Persona, it's like you either destroy them in one turn or you get destroyed in one turn. That's just how it goes. Either you chain their weaknesses till everybody fucking dies, or you just get your ass kicked. So I don't know. I never had an issue.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm one of those guys that's like, I need close to full control over my party. I don't know. That's just me.
See, my party never got to do anything because I just killed everything immediately.
Well, Scott, I've got brain problems, so
That's okay. That's my thing with the Shin Megami Tensei games in general. I like all of them, but I find them all to be like really easy. Just because it's like, oh, I hit their weakness, now I just go again until everyone dies. Like, or it's like, oh, they hit my weakness, now they go again until we all die. Like it's that every battle.
yeah, I love a lot of Shin Megami Tensei / Persona, but it's like it's not without its flaws, as some people try to pretend it is.
Yeah.
Love those games to death, though.
Oh yeah, cool fucking series. My friend got me into them in like high school because he had a copy of Nocturne and I'd only ever heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like my first Shin Megami Tensei game was Nocturne, and I was like, oh, this is the coolest shit. And he was like, well, check this shit out, and showed me all of his fucking Digital Devil Saga games, and I just dove right in.
Oh man, that's really neat. But
Yeah.
Lordy's also putting out in the chat. I never had a PlayStation Portable, but I had one friend that did, and boy, the hand feel on that thing was just great. I'm so used to those infernal Nintendo rectangles. The PSP was so round, and the weight felt really solid. Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
that's a perfect description of it. Like,
PSP still had sides.
yeah, it felt so good to hold. Like, I got like hand cramps from my 3DS, and
Yeah, I would agree.
after owning my 3DS for like 2 years or something, I went and I picked back my PlayStation Portable after all that time, and I was like, I'm just gonna like boot up Birth by Sleep again, just to see that opening cutscene again.
Yeah.
And
Did,
I picked it up, and immediately I was like, this still feels better than any other handheld that has been made after it. I have not tried the Vita though. I don't know if the Vita is an upgrade.
The Vita feels pretty fucking good. I like the Vita a lot.
I think the Vita is probably the best handheld feeling console I've ever held.
That doesn't shock me, since like
I would probably agree with you. Yeah,
yeah,
it feels fucking slick.
it always just like looked with like a PSP with all the upgrades I wanted in it, and so like
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
basically
has,
exactly what it is.
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. Like,
One of these days when I have enough, income to burn, maybe I'll check it out. Like I've got the PlayStation TV, and that is a
Oh, yeah.
Persona 4 Golden machine. Let me tell you. The only problem is though, when I moved, I lost some of the cables to it.
oh
I
no, that's the
cannot.
worst.
Yeah, no, I cannot find them again. I
Like,
don't
you
know.
always lose something in a move, and that's like the worst fucking thing to lose in a move.
Right. The worst part is that like I've got a general idea of where they could be, but I have dug through bags for the past 2 years and I cannot find the right cords. I think I'm missing a power cord specifically, which is like the
Oh
worst.
shit.
Oh god.
Especially when like I'm pretty sure every single port on that thing is proprietary. So like I think it would be less fuss to just like literally just grab a Vita used somewhere, pop in my copy of Persona 4 and just go ham.
Right.
Because I would be fine with starting over from the beginning. It's been this much time. Persona 4, also a very good game, even if it's not on the PlayStation
agree.
Portable.
Persona 4 is a good game. The Persona series is a good series.
Yeah. And I know Persona 5 Royal's coming out soon here in the States in like a couple days, I think.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it entirely. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up on release day or pre-order it like I thought I would, but because like I'm not really in the mood right now to go through Persona 5, which is weird because like for the past year I've been like, ooh, I want to go through Persona 5, but now it's like,
It's
ooh,
a long ass game. It's quite
yeah,
a commitment. I don't really blame you.
yeah.
Like same.
Yeah, it's like that's been like my main thing lately. It's like, I don't really want to start like a new gigantic JRPG, especially when, I'm like I've got like all this life stuff going on right now, which applies to most people, I think.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to COVID.
Shoutouts to a world-ending pandemic, which
Hey.
won't end the world. I'm not a fearmonger, don't worry. But like, I don't know, things are getting a little rough in some sectors.
Some quadrants.
Some quadrants. Scott and I happen to be in some of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just a quick question, by the way.
What's up, man?
I wanted to say this, but I didn't want to interrupt anybody. Did anybody used to use the cord that came with the PSP that you could put as like a wrist strap? Did anybody use that?
I
No, I
I
never
actually
did.
went looking for mine because I couldn't find it. I never used it at all. But after years later, I was like, just to have it complete, I want to go find the box and find that wrist strap, and I have
I
not been able to
used
find
that
it.
wrist strap like a fucking champ. Like I felt like a total badass having that on. Like it was my brother's PSP, obviously, so I didn't really get to go too many places with it.
Hmm.
But like whenever I was out in public and I had that, I'd make sure it was really tight against my wrist, and I'd walk around, and then I would let it go and just let it dangle, and I'd just be like a cool person walking
Yeah,
around.
yeah, you just showing off your PSP to all the poor people.
Exactly, it was so amazing.
That was, one of the other things about the PSP, while I'm thinking about like travel with it and all, that blew my mind was, like a web browser on a portable device, which like now is like nothing. And at the time that I had it, it probably wouldn't be that much either, but, I was poor. I didn't have a smartphone until I, became an adult. But like, I don't know. It's just so weird thinking back on it now. I remember I like would connect to like hospital Wi-Fi when I had to go over there, and it was just like so mind-blowing to me that it's like I am accessing the internet from someplace that is not my house. I didn't have a laptop or anything, though I knew they existed. Like that wasn't mind-blowing to me. But this tiny little handheld device connecting to the internet, bringing up Google and stuff. It's like, man, that was like exciting to me.
Yeah.
Especially when like I think it over and like you had to buy a web browser for the original DS because it didn't have any Wi-Fi capabilities. The DSi had one built in. But the DSi was 2011, wasn't it? Maybe no, definitely not 2011.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you,
I
man.
couldn't remember.
Man. Now I gotta look that up, as Dylan said. Okay, Nintendo DSi. No, I was off by a lot. 2008, but still, that's like let's see, that was in Japan. Worldwide,
Mhm.
April 2009. So that would be like 4 years in the U.S. after the PlayStation Portable that you don't have to buy a web browser for a Nintendo console. Because you still had to buy the Wii web browser for years too. It was long time before they pulled the price tag off of that. They charged you $5 for it, and it wasn't particularly good. Man, this is just like weird to think about now, really. Where like literally every
We've come
device in
so
your
far.
like every device in your household, even your television, can access a web browser right now. And it is
Yeah.
it is like significantly more powerful than the PlayStation Portable, Nintendo DS, DSi, Wii, whatever you wanted to access the internet on, PlayStation 3, 360, whatever. It's like we have
You
come
know-
so far in like such a relatively short time, and I don't know, it makes me feel kind of happy
And then we
when I
all
think
got
about that.
Corona.
I wanted to be positive, Scott. We're supposed to be this
Hug
voice of
that
positivity during the end of the
You
world.
fucked up bringing me on to be positive.
you guys know about the refrigerator now, right? That can actually talk to you.
That doesn't shock me, but I have
Did
not heard
those
of it.
not do that before?
I would sue that. I would not trust that shit.
I'm gonna be real with you.
I hate smart tech, honestly.
Me too. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you though. Like, if my fridge started talking to me, I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here right now."
Look down at my cookie and be like, damn.
Yeah, it was made for the people who would stare blankly at the contents of the refrigerator, and Samsung
leave
has
the door
invented a
open.
refrigerator
I don't want my
that
fridge
can
to
talk
judge
to
me.
you. When
It's
it
gonna
can
be
talk
like,
to you,
hey dipshit, why are you staring at the fucking fridge? It is a
Did something
process.
already.
it's like
Ugh.
damn, that's like the 5th time you went to the fridge, you fat ass. Go back sit down on the
No.
couch.
Okay,
That sounds awesome.
I'm
I
gonna
actually
I'm
want
gonna
one.
kick off with the PlayStation Portable segment just so I can talk a little bit more about what Ming said. I hate smart tech as well. Listen, there's a Twitter account that I don't know if they're still active. I've heard about them for years. But their name is accurate. It's called the Internet of Shit.
Nice.
The Internet of Things is bad. Um, let's see, what other words can I use here? Hack frauds, maybe.
Oh god, yeah.
I don't know though. All I know for sure is I don't want my fridge to talk to me. I'm gonna be real with you here. I wish I could get a non-smart TV because I don't use any of that functionality. As cool as it is to have there, I don't use it. I would love to buy a TV for $100 or $150 cheaper because it didn't have that. What I do, I get everything off of my consoles. Let me just buy a nice TV with none of that functionality for a cheaper price so I can just plug in my Xbox and be happy. Like all this additional
No.
stuff too. Wow, Scott.
Doesn't
The one piece,
work
the
like
one
that.
piece of smart tech that I find like any like moderate use in is like, I'm not gonna lie, I do like those fancy light bulbs. Yet at the same time, then you see those ones that, like, there was a news story like 2 years ago about light bulbs getting bricked because they were out of service and could no longer receive updates. And that's the moment where I'm
Holy
like
shit.
I would like immediately go back to like, no, this is all bad again.
That's awesome.
Because the thing about like this like quote unquote smart tech is like, if it's not like all local, I don't really want much of a part in it. I say as somebody with a Google Home I got for free. Yes, I know they're listening in on me, but if Google wanted to listen in on me, I've got an Android phone, so they can go ahead. Besides, if Google's listening in on me, that means we have one more listener on the Gamer Zone podcast.
Shout out to Google.
Hey! Actually, I have a Google Home in my bedroom. 2 more listeners.
2 more listeners.
Okay.
Shout outs to Google, my FBI agent,
Oh, yeah,
Microsoft.
FBI
How are the
agents.
kids?
How many viewers are in the chat?
700.
6 viewers in the chat. That means we have 6 viewers plus 6 FBI agents all watching.
Right.
Plus all 4 of us. That's 10. That's 20. Plus mine and your Google. That's 22 viewers.
I'm not
Wow.
following this math, but I
Not by
like
one.
it.
It's like Scott
Viewers just
Steiner
went up by
math.
1. That's an extra 2 right there. Viewers just went up by 1. That's extra 2 people. 24 viewers today, boys.
24 viewers today. I want to give a shout out to my FBI agent. His name is Herman. Herman, Herman, I hope you're having a good day. I hope the wife's, treating you nicely. I hope your Google Home isn't listening in on you like it is on me, because that would be kind of weird, actually. But, yeah, no. It's cool.
Shout out Herman.
Yeah, shout out to Herman.
Do you think FBI agents have FBI agents watching in on them?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Is it just a never-ending stream of FBI
Trust
agents watching
nobody,
other
not
FBI
even
agents?
yourself.
Yeah, trust nobody, not even yourself. Again, shout out to Lordy for like everything they're laying down today. Any dual citizens bringing extra spies in here? Yeah, that's gonna add to the math.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have like MI6 agents, Mossad, all them listening in.
The
Wouldn't that be fun?
RCMP's coming after you. On our fucking horses.
Yeah, Scott doesn't have an FBI agent because he's Canadian.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to redo your math, Dylan, but don't, because then we'll have another person leave if you do.
Well, we just lose 1, so it goes to 23.
Okay. But this is not considering the potentiality of the endless FBI agent theory, where
Yeah, true. Technically, we could have like 200 viewers right now.
I'm feeling pretty important. Why isn't Twitch
Wait,
making me an
hold on,
affiliate?
hold on. Look
Yeah,
at this
it's
right
kind of
here.
fucked
Look at
up.
this. Conspiracy theory, okay? Conspiracy theory.
Okay.
We have 6 viewers, but it says we have 165 total views.
Okay.
But that's how many FBI agents there are watching.
I'm not scared.
I'm scared. So, yeah. We're famous, not famous. Wow. Ugh.
Famous.
Oh, lad, I'm famous. Let me tell ya. Forgive me. You won't.
You are forgiven. Oh, okay. Well, the one time I feel like being nice.
The one time, and I blow it.
That's okay.
Famous from Avengers. I want to give a shout out to the people watching this on YouTube who aren't going to see a chat replay. You're missing out on some good content here tonight.
Do we not have a way to put chat on screen?
I guess I can look into it. Maybe I will. Maybe. Kind of a big maybe.
Like I
Kind
feel
of a
like I
big
feel like right
yikes.
now, I feel like kind of right now since we have so
I mean, I think of it this way,
like,
Dylan.
it'd be-
If I put the chat up on screen, somebody could put their Snapchat account in there and try to self-advertise. It would be awful. It would be
Hey, well,
absolute.
if you pull up the first screen that you have, I can't technically say it. It's kind of cut off already.
Yeah,
Like I can't. Like I'm not allowed, and I accept that.
right. We keep Dylan imprisoned.
See, look at this. Says, "Hey guys, add me on Snapchat. It's Dylan." I don't get to say what it is, and I accept that.
See?
I've learned to come to terms with it.
Dylan is an accepting man.
Hey guys, follow me on Twitter at EastGames.
I wonder who that could be. Ming, do you want to comment?
Beautiful.
That's my boyfriend.
Oh,
Lordy is
okay.
my boyfriend for the record.
Who's also not you.
Yeah.
Feel like this is misdirection. Like we're being
Makes me
lied to
think.
here. Like that's
I
not
got a
your
question,
Twitter handle.
guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's up?
What's okay? I've been really wanting to get back into a good RPG game. Like I took
Okay,
probably a year and a half hiatus from
Final
RPG
Fantasy
games. 'Cause I got
Tactics.
super tired of them.
Yeah. No,
Okay, you're not
right.
wrong. But I want something. I feel like The Witcher 3 might actually be what I want.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't know if it is. And
Okay.
I was just wondering, is there anything else out there kind of like The Witcher 3 or like an Assassin's Creed style or a Skyrim style, something that's completely broad
Okay.
open world
Broad open
and
world.
very
Dragon's Dogma.
Okay, Dragon's Dogma I've played.
Oh, okay.
I love it to death. It's a great game.
Good.
So I completely loved it.
Dragon's Dogma
So
gang.
yeah, something kind of like that. Like there was a game called War of the North. It's a Lord of the
Oh,
Rings
I
game.
remember that. I loved that game. Nobody
Yeah,
else did.
Amazing game. I loved it. I've probably played it twice.
Dylan, I want to high five my microphone. I'm gonna high five the studio microphone that's
Social
not turned on.
distancing?
Ah, man, I'm so
Wait, what'd
happy.
you
Can
say?
do that.
I said.
What'd you say, Scott?
What?
What'd you say?
I said social distancing. Don't do that shit.
Social distancing.
No,
Yeah,
listen,
okay.
I'm high fiving my microphone, Scott. It works. It's okay. It's
No,
not
it
even the
doesn't.
microphone that's turned
literally
on.
how it travels, you idiot.
Ah!
See, it's a virus. That means it can go through our computers, guys. Come
Oh,
on.
shit.
Stupid.
It's Jason Bourne.
But yeah, like I want a game kind of like that. Something that's
Like
good. That's
War.
gonna pull me into it.
Okay.
That'll basically keep me social distanced.
Okay.
Social distance.
I do
I mean,
think
my
that.
life, anyways. But
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, Witcher 3 is probably for like that big, broad, open world you want.
yeah, okay.
Probably the best bang for your buck.
Right.
And I know it's a really long game too. Like I know
Colton
that.
has put like
so-
200
Yeah.
hours into that, and that's just the card games.
just the card games. See, like last time I was on stream, I want to say it was last Tuesday. I brought this up about the Cinders mod for Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I really want to go back and do a full playthrough of that again because it's a really amazing mod. But the thing about that is the content doesn't change, and that's what I want. I want different content. Like the bosses are basically the same. There's some aspects that are different to the game, but for the most part, it just changes your classes and like all your spells and stuff like that. So basically, it adds more stuff to the game, kind of like Dark Souls had a new update,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't add like the new aspect of a different game itself, and that's what I want. I want to play a different game in an entirely different broad spectrum that has a different storyline altogether.
Hmm. So
And
I do want to ask though, like, while we're here, like The Witcher is kind of a no-brainer. It's kind of
Yeah.
it really is kind of best in class. It's not even necessarily a game for me, but even I like can just kind of look at that and be like, yeah, no, that is probably what you should get. It's an obvious answer, and I'm sorry for just saying an obvious answer, but like,
But when it's one of the best options, there's no reason not to.
right.
true.
But I do want to ask Scott though. There was a game called Greedfall that released last September.
Greedfall is a cool game. It's really interesting. It has its flaws, but
Okay.
it's like the closest successor to Dragon Age Origins I can think of.
I am suddenly very more interested. Did
It,
you?
Yeah.
I forget. Did you finish it or?
I did not. I need to. I'm actually glad you mentioned that because I've kind of been like, I still have Kingmaker to play, but I haven't really felt like doing it because that's like a commitment playing that game. I got to use a lot of fucking brain power. I don't feel like that
Hmm.
lately. Um, Greedfall, the combat is like kind of floaty and not amazing, I think, but there's a lot of dialogue options that feel like they actually have meaning. Um, the companions are good from what I've played so far. The setting is cool. It's like what if colonial America but magic.
That's
So that's
interesting.
cool. It is really interesting. The main character also seems interesting. Like they're not just like a blank ass like self insert. You play I forget if they actually have like a canon first name, but like their last name is Desarde, and so that's what everyone refers to them as.
Okay.
And you go to this new land as like the ambassador or whatever, so you're like seeing this new frontier for the first time, which is colonial America.
Hmm.
And you have people in your party who are of the Native American side or from like your side, and like seeing them interact with all this stuff is really interesting. There's also a really fucked up scene where you go into a town and you see an inquisitor burning people at the stake because they're heretics.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like witchcraft Native American. Like, yeah, it's really cool. I'm sorry if that sounds fucked up, but
I love
it's
watching
really
people get burned at the stake for witchery. Scott.
bro. Fucking
I don't know what you expect from Scott.
I'm sorry, I just am a stereotype. Okay, I'm just saying Witchfinder General is a really good movie. Um, don't watch the movie. No, Greedfall is really cool. I'd recommend it. Like I said, I feel like the gameplay isn't amazing. Like it's not bad. It just isn't as satisfying as I want it to be. But if you want like something that's wholly unique, that's a really good pick. It's I don't know. I don't know if it's on sale anywhere, but it probably like full price is probably only $40 anyway. That's Canadian as well, so even cheaper for your lame ass.
Yeah, I looked at it on Steam a little bit ago. I think it's on sale on Xbox right now for like $25, but on Steam
Yeah,
it
it's a
is
cool game. I
on
would
Steam it's 50, I
recommend it.
think. Yeah, it's 50
Oh
on
damn.
Steam. But like,
Okay.
I don't know.
I would
Seems like
recommend
a
it
cool
just
game.
because it's so unique. Who's the team that made it? Spiders, I
Spiders,
think.
yes, and also
Yeah.
it is $25 if you have Xbox Live Gold. I don't know if there's a sale for PS Plus members that's the same, but
Yeah,
Spiders
I'd recommend it. Like the
Spiders is an
dialogue is
interesting
really good.
studio because like
What's the game
Spiders,
again? You said Spiders?
no,
Greedfall.
Greedfall.
Greedfall. Sorry.
It
Spiders is
was
the developer, and they are very much what I once would consider a Eurojank studio, and I say
yeah,
that
absolutely.
lovingly.
No, Eurojank is a term, but like not like derogatory. Like it's like if you've played Mountain Blade, if you played Gothic, like that kind of
Right,
stuff
right.
is what we refer to as Eurojank. Not because like we think Europeans are funny, but just
There
because
are some funny Europeans out there. I see one in the chat right now. No, like a lot of their older titles, like they had like the Technomancer. That one kind of caught on with the people who are very much into janky European RPGs,
Yep.
and I don't think it's a particularly great game, but they are a studio that like with every release they have gotten better and better and better and better. So I always kind of followed them from a distance, and I was like, okay, one of these days they're going to make a game that is really good and goes moderately mainstream, and they're only going to get better from there as they get more money from it. And that seems to be what happened with Greedfall. I think their next
Yeah,
title is going to be legitimately no holds barred. I can recommend it
yeah.
with the rate they've been
Greedfall gets a
improving.
hearty recommendation if you like, uniqueness, I suppose. Just because, like, yeah, the gameplay is fine. Like, I don't know. I'm trying not to make it sound bad because it's definitely not bad. It can feel kind of floaty,
Hmm.
but I still think it's like fine enough.
That's
Yeah,
that's fine by me. I mean, I don't think there's any particular weight to games where I'm just issuing orders to my teammates and watching them do it. But
it plays more like an action game. Like
okay,
it's not like real. Like I think it's been a while since I actually played it. I don't think you can play. I think you can pause it actually, but for the most part,
okay.
it plays more. Don't want to say like an Arkham game because that's not correct. But like I don't know, you can go in and use melee. You can stay back and shoot them, or you can like cast magic all in real time. There's no
But
like.
then you could pause and issue commands.
I want to say yes, but like I said, it's been a while. I don't actually remember.
Okay. I have not gotten heavy into Dragon Age Inquisition. I keep hearing it's good, so maybe one of these days I'll go and check it out again.
It's an
But
experience.
Yeah.
I'm
I definitely don't think it's bad. I
hmm,
think it's the second best Dragon Age game.
hmm,
just want to let y'all know I looked up Greedfall on the
Mm.
PSN, and it does not seem like there's a discount. Total price is $50.
hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, well,
But if you're an Xbox user, um, or if you're a PC user, which I recommend,
hmm.
you can get it cheap on like CD keys or probably
Okay. This is the part where I talk about gray market sellers. I don't know about CD keys specifically, but
I
as a
use CD
general,
keys a lot.
but like as a general rule though, if like a site is selling for cheaper than every other like official place, I tend not to trust them. If you're looking for game deals, what I would personally recommend is this is only for PC game deals. For like all in all on Twitter, if you want to find like across all platforms, definitely follow at Wario64 and at cheap ass or sorry, cheap ass gamer is at video game deals, not at cheap ass gamer. But you know they've got a lot of good video game deals. I keep two TweetDeck columns open at all times, one for Wario64, one for cheap ass gamer. If you want to find deals across all platforms and deals on hardware and stuff, they are the places to go.
Absolutely.
But if you just want to find PC game deals right this moment for exactly what you want, that is cheapshark.com. Great site. Just go to search, type it in. Like I can even go in Greedfall and search right now. And like they have the game, let's see, on GOG, Greedfall is down to $33.50. Not the greatest discount in the world,
Oh,
but like
that's
that's
actually
still
really cool.
great.
Cheap
That's
Shark's
really good.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's
Never
like
used this before.
I'd heavily recommend it because like everything they find there is legitimate and the money does actually go to the developers, which is not the case with a lot of these gray market sites. Uh,
Um, I don't know if you or any of y'all have ever used a website called Humble Bundle,
oh, Humble's
but
great.
Humble's an amazing website because it allows you
Yeah.
to donate to charities with,
Hmm.
I think it's 5% of all the money you spend on the website gets donated to a charity of your choice,
Hmm.
um, which is really cool. And my uncle back in 2013 or 2015, I want to say it was 2015, passed away from ALS. So anytime I purchase something off of the website, I donate, my 5% to ALS, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
and I really like that. I really like that feature. So anytime I'm
Oh
able to
yeah.
support it and I can get a game for a little bit cheaper, I usually get it on Humble, even if it's a little bit more expensive.
Hmm.
Like say if I can get it on like CD Keys or like GOG or something like that. If even if it's like $2 or $3 more on Humble, I'd rather buy it on Humble because I'm still supporting a charity. So Humble's a really
That
good
is a good
website.
way
So
to think about it. I have always liked that ability with Humble. I know that like for a time there, I don't know if you can still do this as they've gotten a bit more restrictive as they've grown bigger and IGN bought them out. But when Humble Bundle was first going, that was much less about game deals and much more about being a charity thing. And
um
you could donate every single penny that you spent. You could cut out Humble entirely. They would take a loss when they sold the bundle, cut out the developers entirely. It was viewed as them donating the games in the first place, and you could just go all in on charity. And I don't know
I
if you can still
don't
do that.
think you can do that. I can check really fast. Let me log
I'm
in.
looking at it right now. Choose where the money goes. Yeah, you can actually still do that. I am very happy. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
set the whole thing to go to charities, and you can
You
split up the
can so
charities there.
something else that I really hate about Humble though, this is something that I think is a very rude thing that you can do. You can make it where instead of that money going to a charity, you can put it into your Humble wallet. So maybe it's good for the people who are less fortunate and don't have all the money to spend on games. So if you buy a game, you can maybe put like, $2 into your Humble wallet. That means next time you buy a game, you get $2 off, which is nice and all. But I feel like if you're going to use Humble, you need to actually support a charity. That's kind of what the
Mm,
point is.
I
But I
mean,
mean,
I
but
don't.
I
I mean,
understand
I
some
think of
people
it
are
this way
less
though.
unfortunate. So
I don't. I'm not gonna judge anybody for how they like spend their money at all, personally.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Scott. At the same time, though, I mean, it is entirely based off of personal preference. Like, maybe I don't know. Like you said, for people who have less money to spend, like that was the case with me for years. Though, if I buy anything off Humble now, I can assure you, for similar reasons to you and why you donate to ALS, my money goes to like cancer societies and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's something I really like about Humble. I mean,
Hmm.
I will probably always use Humble just for that aspect. Like, if
Yeah.
I can get a game on Humble for the same price I can get it on Steam, I will buy it on Humble just
Yeah,
because a
why
portion of it
not?
is exactly because a portion of it is gonna help somebody.
Right.
So
At the same time,
and
at the
and
same time,
um,
like it is convenient to just have that built into the price of what you're paying, but also I don't know. I think about it every now and then. It's like, okay, how much should I like just throw directly into charity, and which one is
Mhm.
worth my actual money?
yeah.
Which that's a subject for another day. This is, I mean, that's a serious subject to start talking about. Like, okay, which charity puts everything into air quotes administrative funding? And I won't get
Well,
into that now, but
yeah.
like,
On the subject of charity, I have like a really, really, really quick story.
okay,
I won't say who I was with because this kind of makes them sound bad,
okay,
but I was buying groceries at
okay,
Walmart, and at Walmart, at some of the self checkout machines or whatever, they'll be like, "Hey, do you want to put in an extra like $3 or $4 to a charity or whatever?" And I
mm-hmm.
was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I did that, and the person I was with was like, "That's optional, right?" And I was like,
Oh
"Yeah,
man.
that's the that's
Man,
that's the point."
man,
I did it because I wanted to be
yeah,
nice.
yeah. And that's really good of you. But like, wow.
Yeah, I was taken aback. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, like holy fuck.
yeah, some people, I don't get it, dude. I really don't get it. I suppose that we're like 6 minutes over that 2 hour mark.
Yeah,
So
man,
Oh
Dylan,
we're
shit, we
free.
are.
yeah,
We're
Damn.
free. We're freewheeling it
yeah, we're
now.
freewheeling. But I think it's a good and happier note to just kind of end on to just like say just like support your local charities, especially. I think if I could ask anybody to
Yeah.
do anything,
Honestly,
especially
support local anything. Like,
right, local anything. But
get
like
money,
if we're
get
like
money
while
circulating
we're
in
on
your
the
fucking
subject of charity
community.
though, like especially during times like this, if you can reach out and support your local food bank, absolutely go and do that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, listen,
Definitely agree.
there is no question, at least I am in a small town. I cannot comment on like big town corruption or anything like that. I have perpetually lived in towns where with like smaller population, smaller budget, smaller everything. If you donate canned goods to a food bank in this town, it is entirely going to help homeless people or old grandmothers who don't have any income anymore and are struggling to get by. And if I can make any like serious heartfelt cry during a time of strife, like some big important idiot that I'm not, just go out and give something back if you can, because there's people out there that need it. I say that because I used to be one of them.
Brings a tear to me eye.
Yeah, I was about to say very heartfelt, man. Like,
Whoops.
uh,
Whoops.
Now we're all
um,
sad. No,
well,
I'm not. I just don't really know how to respond. Like, yeah, be a good person. Like that's my life lessons with Scott. Don't be a dick because I do that and it doesn't really work. So like, maybe try to be
um,
nice.
well, I want to say this real fast. I live in a bigger city. I live in the
Mm-hmm.
capital of my state.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when I walk around downtown, there's so many homeless people. Like it's kind of nutty, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And during the nights, they literally sleep on the streets. It's pretty sad. But there's a really nice donation center where a lot of people donate, um, you know, non-perishables and uh, drinks and stuff, and some people even make meals like in paper sacks, like it has sandwich and chips and has like a Coke in it.
Mhm.
And at night, all the cops that are doing like their patrols and stuff like that, if they run into any homeless people, they approach them and they give them some canned goods. They give them some of the stuff that they have that they got from the center, and they give it to them. So that way they're not starving on the streets and stuff like that. And I think it's really cool that we actually have the cops getting involved with it, because it puts a really good remark on them, after all the stuff that's been going on with cops and all that. But it's
one thing
really
I can
nice.
calmly say is, you've got better ones down there than up here.
Well, it's
But
super
we
nice
can.
that,
But
like,
yeah.
in a big city like this, people still give as much as in a small city. Because I used to live in a smaller city, and people were always giving. And here, it's so crazy to see how many people still give. Like, yeah, there's a lot more stingier people, but the percentage is almost the same because of the mass of people.
Hmm.
So it's really nice.
It's good. It's good to have. I'm trying to find a way to word this. I just like almost went out with, it's good to still have some hope in your fellow man, but I didn't mean that as like a bad thing.
Fucking
Yeah.
get over yourself.
I didn't mean that as a bad thing, but they're like, especially like, I don't know. I've gone through phases where I've been pretty cynical about people, but like now I look out at a lot of people and a lot of the stuff that I see going on in communities and stuff, and it does just warm my heart, so to
Yeah.
speak. And I don't know. I see people do things for each other, reach out and help people. I won't go on much longer about it. We're 10 minutes over what we were
Video
set, but
games.
yeah, video games.
Anybody like to play video games? I'm playing one right now.
Gamer Zone, more like sad boy hours.
Not
Yeah.
even sad. It's hopeful. I don't know. I got
Yeah.
True.
Same
Ugh.
thing.
Thoughtful hours.
Same thing.
oh well. Well, anyone have any closing
Hopefulness.
comments?
Hopefulness is the
Hope
cousin
boy
of
hours.
sadness.
Yeah, Hope Boy hours. Yeah, this is what we are.
Hope boy hours.
Listen, the sad boy arc is gone. We're hopeful.
Yeah, we're sad men now.
Oh, all right. Well, I hope everybody has a good night. Anybody else have anything to comment with?
I also hope you have a good
6
night.
a.m. and I have
Wash
no
your
regrets.
fucking hands and stay at home for the love
Yeah.
of God.
It's
Seconded.
6 a.m. and you have no regrets. Jesus, where are you from?
Oh yeah. Shout out to it's 6 a.m. and I have no
6
regrets.
a.m.
Mr. Shadow Knight, I hope you have a good night. Morning.
Yeah, please get some sleep.
Yeah,
Right.
we got a German here, huh? Okay. All right, everybody, get some sleep. On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Two.
Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, bum.